Yeah. To the guilters, please take a seat. Propaganda spreaders rolling down the street, spreading the lies, dropping the shit at our feet, throwing that nonsense, spitting the lies, talking through they teeth. Don't know shit, only what they think, pushing that narrative, thinking they won't sink, going on day after day. They only wanna see it one way. Take a seat, go ahead, I'll wait. We see you, too late. Take a seat, you're done, sit down. Propaganda pushers, yeah, sit down. Sit down. Yeah. Sit down. Evie the puts in Jeffy the Great, throwing out bullshit, boy. I can't wait. Who signed your paycheck? Is it Idaho State? Propaganda pushers, stop now, it's too late. We see you, we see what you doing. Eyes wide open, ain't no confusion. Every little rumor, every fake conclusion. You built on a lie, now watch that illusion. Take a seat, go ahead, I'll wait. We see you, too late. Take a seat, you're done, sit down. Propaganda pushers, yeah, sit down. So, same old story, just cheap and cold. You talk in circles, we break the mold. Say it to my face, don't fall. Take a seat, go ahead, I'll wait. We see you, too late. Take a seat, you're done, sit down. Propaganda pushers, yeah, sit down. Typical unique, bring the case files in. Bronx Tales, yeah, we dig right in. They go in the TruCrime Cafe. The last 24 make the lies give way. Pavarotti with the facts so clean. Harsh reality in the break room screen. Truth and transparency line by line. We tear the mask off every single time. No sleep, no praise, just cold hard days. Every missing piece gets brought to light. They spin the smoke, we cut the rope. If they bury truth, we bring it back tonight. Truth revealed. We don't bend, we don't kneel. Truth revealed. Justice moves when we feel. Day after day, we clear the haze. Truth revealed. We won't stop till it's real. Till it's real. Jules, true crime reactions, eyes on fire. Hildreth investigates, keeps the pressure higher. Amber Vance with the sharp lit frame. Travis T. Logic calling out names. Glitch DNA ripping through the noise. Every fake excuse gets drowned in the void. Idaho for Delphi, Karen Reed. So many shadows we expose the bleed. No sleep, no praise, just cold hard days. Every missing piece gets brought to light. They spin the smoke, we cut the rope. If they bury truth, we bring it back tonight. Truth revealed, truth revealed. We don't bend, we don't kneel. Truth revealed, truth revealed. Justice moves when we feel. Day after day, we clear the haze. Truth revealed, truth revealed. We won't stop till it's real. it's real. Until the whole world knows what's real. Trace the lane, street by street and crime by crime. Every clue in broken light, every lie we drag to sight. You hide the truth, we hold the frame, turn each shadow into a name. We look left, we look right, take another pass tonight. One more angle, one more road. Comes up from the dead. Pull the thread, pull the thread. We won't let the case go red. True crime warriors stand and see all the angles, all the leads. Pull the thread. Truth comes out. Truth comes out. Trails and witness gaps, timestamp, stamp signs and faded maps. We work together side by side, no ego, just the need to find what was hidden, what went wrong, who stayed silent, who played along. We look left, we look right, take another pass tonight. One more angle, one more road. Comes up from the dead. Pull the thread, pull the thread. We won't let the case go red. True crime warriors stand and see all the angles, all the leads. Pull the thread, pull the thread. Truth comes out. Truth comes out. Stay shut, we kick it open. If the story bends, we break the spoken. Every bruise, every mark, every name left in the dark. No more smoke, no more shame. We keep digging through the flame. Pull the thread, pull the thread. Truth comes up from the dead. Pull the thread, pull the thread. We won't let the case go red. True crime warriors stand and see all the angles, all the leads. Pull the thread, pull the thread. Truth comes out. Truth comes out. All right. Welcome back, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me today here at the cafe. The doors are open. We are open for business. Come on in, grab a seat, grab your cup, fill it up. You know how it goes. Today, guys, we're going to jump into the Barbara Wolf doc and whatever else you want to discuss about these documents and or whatever else is going on. It's all up to you as well because you guys are important
Your thoughts are important. Your feelings are important as much as everybody. So we'll hear it if you want it. Let's do it. So that being said, make sure to hit the like button if you will. Please share this out. Let everybody know what's going on here. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to my moderators for being here today, as always. So much appreciated. Much love to you all. Thank you. Thank you. That being said, you know what we do and how we do it. Here we go.
Neon lights flicker like broken halos. Whispers gather in the smoke-filled air. Tables carved with secrets and shadows. Every story's a wound laid bare. The kettle's boiling with a restless rage. Justice written on an unseen page. I sip the silence, bitter taste, waiting for the ghosts to show their face. At the TruCrime Cafe, we serve up the pain they try to hide away. Pour another cup of the truth you crave. Raise your glass to the names they betrayed. Mirrors cracked, reflections are liars. Ashes fall where the guilty once stood. The jukebox hums like a funeral choir. Echoes pounding through the neighborhood. Every scar is a candlelit vow. We hunt the how, we demand the now. No more silence, no more disguise. We'll paint the night with sharpened cry. At the TruCrime Cafe, we serve up the pain they try to hide away. Pour another cup of the truth you crave. Raise your glass to the names they betrayed. This is not a sermon, it's a battlefield hymn, a requiem dripping from the bottle's rim. The guilty write stories in invisible ink, but we'll drag it all up from the edge of the break. At the TruCrime Cafe, the reckoning burns like a black bouquet. Every shadow will pay. In the TruCrime Cafe.
All right, all right. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's great to see you all. Good morning to you. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Whatever it is, wherever you are, I hope it's great. It's good for you because it's great to be here with you all. Thank you again for joining us, guys. Another one of the documents and then some we're going to jump into today, of course, like always. The Barbara Wolf document. We're going to break that down and discuss whatever else you choose you want to talk about today with these new docs or the case in general. I want to hear your voices, your thoughts, your feelings, your opinions, please and thank you. So who do we have joining us today? It looks like Sweet Pea's in the house, yelling my name. G Bean's in the house, yelling my name. Are you guys standing far away or something? You're screaming at it. Looks like Miss Catherine Genovese. Good to see you, dear. Ms. Laura Diane, welcome. Jura 13, what's up? Sup. Miss Sophie, welcome back, dear. Sweet Pea, of course. G Bean, Sweet Pea. These two come in here in pairs. I think they're in cohorts, possibly, which is good. Good. I love seeing people work together. Bubbles back in the house today after her long vacation. Good to see you, Bubbles. Thank you for being here. In Stitches in the house. Good to see you. Welcome back to you. Miss Tandy here, joining us probably on lunch break. Thank you, Tandy, for joining us as always. Smiling Sleuth, still smiling. Great to see you. Thank you for being here. Blue-eyed butterfly. Butter. It's butter, not blutter. Get it right, bro. Blue-eyed butterfly floating around here. Thank you. Thank you for joining us with your fluttery wings. Appreciate you very much. Sylvia Hurley, wonderful to see you. Sally Shepherdson, same to you. Great to see you guys today. Moonflower, good to see you. And holy shnikes, Miss SRB, 37 months. Time is flying by, I'm telling you right now. Long time these peeps have been here with me. I gotta love them. Gotta love them. Even though they harass me. It's okay. Lisa Winchester, great to see you. Thank you for joining us. Eddie's in the house. One Maiden Nut. Welcome back, buddy. Good to see you today. Moto Man. Good to see you, buddy. Superman's grandma, welcome back to you. Wave Ether, welcome to you. Great to see you. Italian Girl 76, great to see you. Thank you for joining us. Ms. Margaret, welcome back. Doc J, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Tony DeWong, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Again, everybody, please make sure to hit the like button on your way through the door. Baby Ames. Anna Paula, welcome to you. Miss Michelle, welcome back. Noni's in the house. Welcome, Miss Noni. Lost Faith, welcome to you. Hangman's Joke, welcome, brother. Good to see you today. Highly caffeinated we are. Sounds like Yoda. Let me see. The Cat's Meow 3, welcome to you. Miss Jenny, good to see you. Just like peas and carrots. Come on in. Jeebs and Sweet Pea. What are you guys in cohorts for? We have any birthdays in here today? Do we? Beelzy, welcome. Love the name. 134 peeps in the house already, and it looks like we have 46 likes. I think we can do just a little bit better than that. Maybe. Janet Wallace, welcome to you. We will definitely be doing that, Smiling Sleuth. Prayers and thoughts to you for sure that you get through that safe and sound, as I know you will. I have super high faith in that without worry. Mackenzie Ray, welcome to you. Jeebs. Mackenzie Ray, good to see you. Yes. Prayers and thoughts to you for sure. Accomplished day, hello and welcome back, dear. Good to see you today. Yes. Come on in, grab a seat, everybody.
Jeff.
Get yourselves comfortable, please, and thank you. Miss Rowe, great to see you today, ma'am. Smiling Sleuths again. That would be awesome. Moonflower, of course. Michelle Turner, welcome. Up, and there it is. I knew it. I knew it. Ow. I just hurted myself. Make sure you guys wish Michelle Turner a happy birthday, please, if you will. Make it a good one. 1 minute, everybody.
I never met someone who deserves the day the way that you do, Michelle. It's time to get ready and the spotlight's shining down upon you, Michelle. So be fine, hold firm. I'm on my way, yeah, here it comes. And I'm delivering a wish to you, so get ready. Get ready. From every peak and valley, they're telling you to get ready. Get ready, cause here it comes. It's on the way. Happy birthday to one in a million.
All right. Happy birthday, Miss Michelle. And of course, just a 1 minute. Of course, your cake, and make sure you make a wish. And blow them out. Make it a good wish. And I hope you have an amazing day today. And an even better year, as I always say, leading up to this time next year. Happy birthday to you, dear. Thank you for that, Stephen. I think that's number 2 already. It is. Stephen dropped both of them, I think. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you very much for those. Very cool, my friend. Very awesome and very much appreciated. Very generous of you. We got another one for Mackenzie. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's awesome. Miss Mackenzie's birthday today. Wow, we got all these 20-something ladies in here. This is crazy. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Ah, what we have in here? What do we have here? All right, all right.
Hey Mackenzie, happy birthday to Mackenzie. Happy birthday to Mackenzie. Happy birthday to Mackenzie. birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to Mackenzie. Hey Mackenzie, to Mackenzie, happy birthday to Mackenzie, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to Mackenzie, happy birthday to Mackenzie, happy birthday to Mackenzie, happy birthday, happy birthday.
And of course, happy birthday, Miss Mackenzie. I hope it's amazing for you. Let's see. 1 minute here. Of course, everybody gets their version of a cake. They're not always the best. I do my best. And make a huge and amazing wish and blow them candles out. And I hope your guys' wishes come through. And true, for sure. I hope you guys have, both of you, Mackenzie and Miss Michelle, have the most amazing day and absolutely an amazing year as well. You both deserve it. And God bless to both of you. Much love from the community to you both. Thank you for being part of our family over here. We appreciate you. All right. Is that it? Do we have any more birthday peeps in here? Everybody wish Miss Michelle and Miss Mackenzie a happy birthday today if you can. Am I a goat? Meh, okay. Thank you, Kiss Me, and welcome. Oh, I gotta turn it down. Hold on. Okay. Happy to have you here, Miss Michelle. I hope you're having a great day. Gee, thanks, Tomboy. Welcome, Miss Becca. Judy Studios, welcome. Tomboy's in the house. And when Miss Wendy, good to see you. Kathleen, welcome to you. Hangman, good to see you. Teresa, welcome. And again, it doesn't help to hide your birthday from me, folks, because I find out one way or another usually. Very rarely does it get past me. So just admit to it. That way we can celebrate it, of course. Because you deserve it. You're all very important people. All right. Let's see here. How many of you guys have seen the Barbara Wolf document thus far? Excuse me. Nope. Nope. Jesse Shule, good to see you. When was your birthday, Jesse? What? You have to come in here for me to be able to figure that one out, Jesse. And it's probably why you didn't. I know better. Haven't seen, heard some breakdown. Gotcha. Okay. They're very little. Gotcha. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. That's why we're doing it today. Good to see you, Jesse. Thanks for being here, brother. So this is the one we're covering today is the Barbara Wolf report. Excuse me. Derrick Henry's bench press. Big man stuff. Good last week. Well, you ass hat, you could have told me about it. That's probably why you didn't. The Blue Crew will be known as Bluebies instead of Newbies. Okay. The Big 50. Oh, it's no big deal. Wait till you hit 51. That's when you're in your 50s. That's when it bothered me. I'll be 52 in November if I make it there. If it happens. See what happens, guys. Come on in, everybody. Looks like we got 154 beautiful peeps in the house today. Thank you for joining us. Please make sure you hit, punch, kick, elbow, headbutt, lick it. I don't care what you do, but do something with that like button, please, and thank ya. And share this out. Babies, huh? I don't know about that. I don't feel like a baby, that's for sure. Yes. Happy belated birthday, Mr. Jesse. Either way, you're not going to get away with it. We appreciate you, bro. I'm grateful you're part of our community. And of course, you are very loved here, sir. So I hope you had a good day and I hope you enjoyed your birthday, bro. For sure. There is a link pinned if anybody wants to join me today. I'm fresh and clean, I promise. Showered, shaved, got the cologne on, everything, no smells, so you won't be offended if you come up here. Just letting you know. Between that and the 80s, maybe. I agree. And didn't y'all just have a birthday last year? Miss Tandy's so funny. It was pinned. Where did it go? Hold on. I did pin it. Did I not, Eddie? I swear I did. I must not have done it right. I will do it again. Hold on a minute. Thank you for warning me, sir. Whoop. Wait a minute. It's not cooperating. Maybe that's what happened last time. All right. It should be pinned now. All right. It might be up there now. Doc J, good to see ya. It went away. That's weird. That is very strange. Sluther. Welcome, Miss Sluther. Oh, wait a minute here. Link is now pinned correct. Oh, shit. Oh, police are at the door again, it sounds like. Let's see who we got back here. Welcome, Yvette. Good to see ya. Damn. Got that. Okay, we have Moto knocking at the door. Somebody else. Jesus Lord. People knocking. Sounds like I got police knocking at the damn door. All these people knocking. Okay, I think that's it. Knock on my door down. Welcome, Moto. Who the hell is that now? Jesus. Stop beating my door down. All right. All right, there we go. Looks like Miss Sophie, Kawanda, Eddie, and Moto. Welcome, everybody. How are you today?
Doing well.
Fantastic.
Hey, doing good.
Good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a raid. You guys all raided me at once. Beating my door
That's
down.
funny.
Yes. Welcome, ladies and gents. But the way it looks like it's kind of even now. We got 2 gentlemen, 2 ladies here. That's all. Well, minus me. I don't count. But anyway. All right. Good stuff. Have any of you? Something else going on. Oh, and of course we have to have the party crasher.
Is it Tomboy?
Yep.
Yeah. Phew.
I'm coming. Hold on. God, you're so impatient. There you go. Can you hear me, dear?
Yep.
All right. We are fully loaded today. All right. Welcome, everybody.
I got my ICP spray.
Your ICP. What is ICP, Saray?
What does ICP mean?
Insane Clown Posse?
Clown Posse.
That's what I know it means.
I got my ICP spray.
Oh my God. Okay. I get it now. Here we go.
ICP is what you're saying. I get you. I see.
Yes. Here we go.
I got my.
Hello, Mr. Jesse.
I asked you a question in the chat and you didn't answer, so I showed up anyways.
Oh, no, you're fine. I didn't even see you back there. Hold on.
The question I asked is I asked permission if I could derail for 5 minutes, but I figure since it's early and nobody answered me, I'll just jump in.
I also have something to get off my chest.
I'm gonna mute for y'all.
All right. Well, real quick, thank you, Sleuther, for them 5 new meatball drops there. Looks like Heidi Young, Kendra, Truth Lobbyist, Curious Carrie, Tipsy Turby, Freckled Gemini, I think. Yeah. Welcome to the sauce, and thank you, Sleuther. You're an angel. As always, very much appreciated. So, okay, let's see. Jesse, go ahead with what you were saying real quick first.
Ladies first. Let Kawanda go.
Okay, I was hoping. Okay, what's up, Tawanda? What do you got to get off your chest, dear?
Okay, 1 second.
Always love to hear from you.
Oh, thank you, Dago. Okay, so I'm currently workshopping this new theory and obviously alleged, just making shit up. But the last week, I've been asking myself, why are the Goncalveses on this press tour? Like, because it's really starting to piss me off and it like makes no sense to me. And like, usually when things don't make any sense to me, there's like something there. So I've been like thinking, why the fuck are they doing this? And so currently, my current theory, making shit up, not based in anything, is that I think that they're on this press tour because they have to do it. They don't want to do it. Someone is forcing them to do this to keep the narrative going.
To keep the narrative going? Okay.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, it does.
And I have a few reasons why I think this. So the first reason is like, it literally feels like harassment. Like, it's like they don't take a break, like they've been on the Crime Con, this show, this show is like, it's like, take a break, okay? But they go on these shows and their main priority is to like bash us pro-truthers every time they get. And it's like, if you know you're right, blah, 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 like, why do you have to keep going on random YouTube channels to like bash us? So that's the first reason.
Good point.
The second reason I think this is because of the active WSU lawsuit. I cannot imagine that any lawyer worth half a brain would not highly discourage them from doing this press tour. Why are they doing this when they have, what is it, $500 million? Like, why are you doing this when that kind of money is on the line? Like, that's stupid. Okay. And then the third reason is that the other families are silent. The other families are silent. They lost children too. So why are the Goncalveses insisting on continuing to yap around to relevant YouTube channels for no reason? For no reason. And like getting drunk at CrimeCon and like saying stupid shit and like cursing people out on Facebook. Like, why are you
Nothing
doing
wrong
this?
with having a drink once in a while.
Yeah, well, but like,
but they're the way they did it was off.
Yeah,
Jess. I agree
just
with you
being
on that
tacky.
one.
Just being tacky.
They shouldn't have done any interviews that way for what they were doing, in my opinion.
Okay. Then my fourth reason is murder has a name. People could say, oh, they're out here promoting murder has a name, but I'm sorry, I'm not like a marketing genius, but like this not even ready to launch yet. Why would you be going on a press tour for your nonprofit that's not even ready to launch yet? Like, the timing is just weird to me.
Right.
And then so the other reason is that I'm not sure if people know this, but nonprofits are notoriously known for money laundering schemes. And so I'm thinking to myself, is it too far-fetched that Steve and Christy could be wrapped in some alleged money laundering scheme related to the murders? Allegedly?
I mean, it doesn't sound that far-fetched to me. Honestly.
If I shake my head anymore, it's going to hurt my neck.
And I'll end it here because the whole reason why I think this like alleged money laundering scheme could be going on is because one, Steve has a sketchy background with money. And two, like the whole premise of the nonprofit doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, why are they going to be collecting money as a nonprofit to give to law enforcement agencies so that they can go and test DNA with IgG? Like, why are you doing that? Do you really think that you could fundraise more money than the fucking government? Why do you need to do that? Wouldn't it make way more sense to offer this to families whose family members cases have gone code and the law enforcement is refusing to test it, so you can say, hey, you can apply blah 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 and we will front the money to get shit tested for your loved one.
Right.
Okay, the whole premise doesn't make any fucking sense. So that's my theory currently. Allegedly just making shit up, don't know anything.
No, I get it. You're making sense as you always do. I mean, I question it. I've always questioned their tours, as I call them, because as soon as either something's coming or something has come out beforehand, and then they go on tour again. And it happens every time. And I believe there's something coming. And like I think it was the first point you made was that it's to keep promoting the narrative. That's one of the main things I think it is to make sure everybody still says Brian's guilty no matter what. They can't have people believing that he's not.
Because they're the family. So if the family keeps coming out, then it's like they have that sense of protection.
Yes.
Like, yes. So they can keep saying the bullshit because people are going to give them grace because they're the family.
Absolutely. And I believe that wholeheartedly with every ounce of my soul that is every time. And we noticed, look at it. We just got these documents. Cyride come out here and he's calling everybody out for their ignorance. Okay. Saying this is wrong. That's wrong. So on and so forth. This person was corrupted. That person was corrupted. All that. And everybody's doubting whether Brian's guilty or not again. And then here they come. It happens every time.
Yeah. And one more thing, and then I'll let someone else speak. But I have not forgotten that the first time that Birdie had Jeffrey Gentry on his show, who immediately went and emailed him, like within a few days. Who?
Yeah, it was Christy. You're right.
Exactly. Why would she do that?
Exactly.
Why would she do that?
She's been doing that with a lot of people. Welcome, Heather. Absolutely. I get it. And she's been asking him questions about, and here's my thing. I've had problems with this. They're calling all of us out, okay, saying that we're wrong about this, we're wrong about that, but they're also they've questioned, I think it's Mowry or Gilbertson about the knife sheath. They're questioning Jeffrey Gentry, asking him if he knows anything about this. But if you believe in what you're promoting, then why are you asking questions at this point? That's my question. So I agree with that. And 100%. Good points today, Kawanda. Very good points. Thank you. And can you hear me, Heather? If you can, you don't have to leave your camera on, dear, if you don't want to. But thank you for doing that to help us with it. And if you want to leave it on, you're welcome to. I'm just letting you know you don't have to. Great to have you here. You're muted, by the way, for when you do want to speak. But thank you, Kawanda, for those points, and I fully agree with you, as always. Jesse, go ahead with your point, sir.
Yeah, I'll piggyback on what Kawanda said. And, I believe that the Gonzalez's are in it for the money. I think they displayed that right from the beginning with the GoFundMes and the sort of abuse of the GoFundMes. But I guess what I want to get into is I want to give you guys an update on something I came on here and talked about a couple weeks ago, and that's the parallels between the Idaho 4 and the Charlie Kirk case. Right. And the way it's being covered by the same bad actors in both cases. And for not everybody heard what I had to say before, but for those that did, they might be interested in an update. But recently they had the preliminary hearing for Tyler Robinson. Right. And it wrapped up on Friday, I believe. And in court on Friday, there was a moment where the prosecution showed a video to the judge that was not allowed to be shown on camera. And so the public didn't get to see this video. So we don't really know what's on this video. So immediately after court, we're heading into the weekend. It's Friday evening. The bad actors on YouTube and in the media come out and say, we've got absolutely conclusive evidence, video evidence, clear as day, Tyler Robinson pulling the trigger, taking the shot. And it's since been outed from other reporters that were in the court at the time. and also by the testimony of the lawyers and the judges, that's just absolutely fake news. It didn't happen. The judge actually asked at one point, "Do you have conclusive video showing him taking the shot?" And the prosecutors had to say, "No, no, judge, we do not." But you have all these bad actors out there claiming that this exists and it was shown in court, and they're claiming that because they know that people might have a difficulty checking it, but they've been called out. And one of them, of course, I've talked a lot about this in the past, the Megyn Kelly getting the call right on her show regarding the Koberger case, and she's changed since then. And she had a guy by the name of Jack Brasobic on her show like yesterday. And she gave him a platform to lie about this video, claiming that there is this video that shows clearly who took the shot. Now, none of what I said so far is the interesting part. The interesting part is if you scroll down below her video and you look at her comments, last time I checked, there was like 2,500 comments. Can you guess how many of them were positive?
Probably very little.
I didn't see a single one. I didn't see a single one.
Yeah.
People are saying, I'm unsubscribing right now. Megyn, you're platforming. This is lies. And I mean, we're talking very strong commentary. We're talking like 99.9% consensus opinion from her viewers. The same's true on News Nation.
What lie did he tell about the video? How did he, if you can shorten it up real quick and give us a little synopsis of it, what was it?
Well, they're claiming that a video exists that simply doesn't exist.
Okay. That's
we're
what
talking
I figured.
about. So, like I said, there was a.
You froze, Jess. Uh-oh. Everybody else okay?
Yes, I'm still able to hear you.
Everybody. Jesse froze.
Dave.
There you go. Okay, you're back now.
Okay, so as I was saying, because this video was shown in court privately and the media didn't have access to it, you could make any claim you want as to what was shown on that video. However, other people were in court that were able to report that there was nothing on that video, nothing conclusive. It was the same. It was simply the same video that was shown previously a few days earlier, which was totally inconclusive to anything. Now, like I said, News Nation has been platforming these lies. There's been a few big content creators, and if you go and look at the comments below these videos where they're making these claims, the public is simply not buying it. And what I find significant about this is that we're winning. The fact that the mainstream media is trying to create this narrative and tell people what the reality is, and people are saying, listen, I went through it during COVID. I went through it during the last election. I went through it with the promises from the politicians. I'm not buying it anymore. People aren't buying it anymore.
It's starting to wait. People are waking up. I knew it was going to happen. I mean, look at it. Look at what's going on.
But the other scary thing is the extent that they'll go, that they'll pay a bunch of people, prominent people like Megyn Kelly.
Right.
And, you know, I know I'm treading on thin ice here, but Andrea is somebody I mentioned. She's now covering the Charlie Kirk case. Mm-hmm. And I saw she put a community post up that was 5 miles long, and it just listed all the evidence against Tyler Robinson. And I'm thinking to myself, is this the same person that a list of evidence against him without any critique of any of that evidence? Now, I would expect from her a 5 mile long list critiquing point by point every piece of evidence, or at least being objective about how significant such evidence is when a lot of it is really suspect. And you know, I had a look at her view counts on her videos for Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk videos compared to Karen Reed videos. And she's getting like 10% of the views she was getting on Karen Reed's case.
Right.
I think the Charlie Kirk case is a bigger case. She's not getting the same negative comments that Megyn Kelly is, or not to the same degree. But the fact of the matter is, there's no appetite to be lied to. The
Right.
people are following the people that are telling the truth, and I've never seen it be more clear than it is right now. But I also worry that the powers that be aren't going to want this to continue. I mean, this is a big problem for them, and they got to do everything they can do to shut it down.
That was gonna be my next question. And yeah, I agree with Noni here. We the people are beyond fed up with the lies and the liars, 100%. So, with what you just said, with what you just said, that it's a problem, and it's progressing. More people are waking up to this and saying, no, I'm tired of this bullshit. You're gonna stop lying to us. We need to know what the truth is, and you're gonna start telling it to us. What do you think that they could do, Jesse, to stop that?
I just
you know what I
don't think
mean?
shows like this will by 2030. I don't think you'll be able to do your show on YouTube anymore, Dago.
I agree. They're already
And
working on it.
I think you need to start looking at alternative platforms. I think everybody in the chat needs to support this show and shows like it, whether you have to go to Rumble or Twitter or X or alternative platforms, social media platforms to follow along. But I wouldn't take for granted that these shows will still exist on Twitter in a couple years.
Harsh put out a video last week about the same type thing, and it's been affecting a lot of us. We're getting shadow banned, where they're taking more control of our channels and our shows, and only allowing us to portray what they want us to put out there. Okay, that's not what this is about. That's not what this was never, ever, ever about, and it shouldn't be. And this is the United States of America. We're not in Russia. We're not in some kind of a country where the government gets to control what you're talking about. That should never happen, and it is happening. So I agree with that too. I don't even know if it'll be 2030, Jesse. It's probably within the next few years, in my opinion, that it'll probably happen. So that's just my opinion. And if you follow along with what Harsh is talking about lately, he's 1,000,000% right. They're trying to restrain us. They're trying to, batter down what we're talking about and how we talk about.
They don't have a choice because they just can't continue to get away with what they've been getting away with.
Right.
We're allowed to expose them, and what it shows to me is we have been exposing them.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And being that we're calling out, I'm sorry, I'll finish this real quick. I didn't mean that. But being that we're calling out mainstream media on a daily basis and people stopped watching mainstream media, and to the point where mainstream media personalities have come to YouTube to try to gain back their audience to believe in them, and people still aren't. They're ignoring those channels as compared to some others. You know what I mean by that and who I mean by that. And at the same time, people do not want to watch the news anymore. They come here for news, period. So go ahead with that. I didn't mean to step on you like that. My apologies.
You're fine. I was just gonna say that's why they demonize the term woke.
Yes.
They're like, you like
Yes.
don't be woke, don't know anything. And it's insanely wild to me that people are like, oh, you're woke, you're stupid. You're like, well, are you kidding me? I don't understand. I don't understand how you could just like hold the veil. I guess hold the veil over your own face. Go ahead.
Thank you. You are correct. You are absolutely correct, Sophie. I fully agree with that. Welcome, Terry.
So France versus Spain is kicking off in about 30 seconds. So I hope you guys enjoyed the update. Thank you for allowing me to speak, Dago, and thank you for everybody who took the time to listen. But I'm going to go watch football and drink wine and eat cheeses and nuts and salamis and crackers.
Well, enjoy your night,
Jesse.
and we'll see you soon, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Welcome back, Modal, I think. Yeah. There. Can you hear me? All right. And you had something you were going to say when you popped up here, I do believe, and I lost Heather, and Eddie, probably because Eddie can't hear. Were you going to say something, Moto, or was that just my imagination thinking?
I don't got much to say right now.
Okay. Tomboy, was there a statement you were going to make?
Nah, bro, I'm eating ice cream.
Okay, bro. All right, so then I'll head on over to Eddie. Any thoughts, sir? Now, can you hear me first?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I know why you jumped down and come back. I get it now at this point. So
yeah, it's happening a lot today.
It's all, and you know what I found out? It's not just here that it happens. It's all over. People, it's something with StreamYard. There's some kind of a glitch with StreamYard that's causing people to have to go through it. So it is what it is. But I appreciate you having patience with it. buddy.
Well, just a couple quick thoughts about what Jesse said.
Yeah.
You know, recently I looked at Super Chuffer's YouTube channel. Back a couple years ago, he had a video that had like renowned success. Like after the first 24 hours, I think there was like 45,000 views. It had to do with his theory on the Nicola Bully incident.
Yeah.
I went looking for that recently, and it's down. I can't find it, and I don't know the story behind it, why it got pulled down. But yeah, in UK, they're losing their right to freedom of speech for sure.
Big time. I've heard that from more than one source too, Eddie. Big time. Which it's spreading this direction as well, I think.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And about Kawanda's interesting point. Yeah, for a long time, it troubles me when they talk about the G's, because I did like you allowed me to do like a little, presentation about that one time. And I am convinced about the bedroom, that is a narrative. So along that same line of thinking, when people make these like, they suppose that they've been misled by law enforcement, and they're only saying this because law enforcement said that to them, and they want to believe that. But there's a point at which, it's like, is it willing ignorance or confident stupidity? But it kind of troubles me when people like kind of like fill the gaps and make the excuses like, well, they're not lying. They're just believing what they've been told. So it's beyond that point at this point, for sure. It's more like trolling. Or also, when a man's income depends upon his not understanding something, then he's highly motivated to not understand it. Because, at this point, the G's, they're not stupid people, but if people think that they are saying what they're saying and believe what they believe because they've been misled, then it's really one and the same as calling them stupid.
Yeah, of course. I agree with that.
So there's my rant.
No, I get it.
And they're not stupid. They're just
no
purposefully running with the narrative for whatever reason.
Totally agree, Eddie.
After true justice for their dog.
The term is they're being intellectually dishonest. That's the term.
That's a good way to put it. A good way. That's the respectful way to put it, because we do try to be respectful. Welcome, Kim from Typically Unique is in the house. Good to see you. And thank you guys for the guys that were there supporting her. She had a great show today. Great one as always. And did a great job with it. So thanks, Kim, for that. And thank you for joining us. Summer Jaden, welcome to you as well. But no, I agree with you, Eddie. It's absolutely what's going on. And the more we see, the more it happens. The more that comes out. I mean, I think it's a combination of multiple things. I agree with Kawanda, with Eddie, Jesse's points as well. Sophie threw something in there. I agree with her as well. You guys are all on point with it. And this is why I threw the little, what do you want to discuss today thing on the end of this, because I think you guys need to do that. Typing is typing. And everybody knows that when you're in a chat typing something, not everybody sees it. I know I don't, especially when there's multiple people in here. So I want you guys to have a way to voice your feelings about these things truly and honestly, because it's only fair. Okay. It is. Everybody deserves to have a platform for their voice to speak out on, period. And it's become, this is a much, much larger problem. It's obvious that it's happening in other countries. And here's another thing. And for those of you, we have a lot of people from the UK here, okay? And you guys know this. I've been told this by multiples of you. Their crime over there is insane, folks, okay? And I think I've covered 3 UK cases. The heaviest one I covered was the Nicola Bully case. I was head first into that one, feet dangling, okay? And they did not want to hear anything about in opposition to the narrative they were running. Okay. And with that being said, Eddie, you might have to go back out. Yeah, I figured. With that being said, do you guys remember when I was covering the Nicola Bully case? For those of you that were here, There was a true crime channel that was from the UK, and the guy was I'm trying to think of what he did for. I think he was a barber or something like that, and started a true crime channel. The man had been arrested, I don't know how many times while he was covering Nicholas' case for just going to try to get information on it. They shut him down left and right and arrested him multiple times. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was pointing things out left and the same shit we were doing. And everywhere he would go, he would show up somewhere. Next thing you know, there's the police. They arrested him three times that I remember for sure, and completely shut him down to the point where his channel disappeared. I can't remember the guy's name, but I followed him because he was between him and we had at that point one of our moderators was actually a retired Manchester PD police officer that was getting us inside information on that case. And she, again, worked for the police and was telling us, "This is way, way wrong, Dago. This is not right."
Can
There's
you stop
something.
for Diego, can you remind me, is Nicola Bully is the gal who was running along a river, and then there was multiple murders along the same river? Is that what happened?
Well, she disappeared walking her dog in a dog park there, and
Okay.
their claim was that she fell in the river.
Okay, that's
And
what it
that
was.
the dog just disappeared, like, just was off doing its own thing. The dog was very close to her, didn't jump in the river with her, didn't chase her down, didn't run up and down, didn't do anything. And her husband and her best friend, there was a little bit of weirdness between the two of them.
Mm.
Is it DJ Media? No, it was something else. Dinky changed his channel to, an outdoors channel, but from my understanding, he's still doing that, for those of you that were asking about him. Um, Bushy, what the hell was his name? I can't remember his name, but I remember following him. The dude he got arrested at least 3 to 4 times.
What for?
Only for trying to get information on Nicholas' case.
Oh, just that, just being intrusive, or what was he doing though? Like,
He
what were
went
they
to a
arresting
couple
him for?
places and was standing outside of a couple houses that, were connected to certain things, and he got arrested for talking to people. He got arrested one time and saying things that they said that were not true.
Did they
It
call it trespassing? What was the excuse that they were
one
writing
of
down?
them was, harassment. Okay, one of
Right.
the charges, I remember that, and the other one, I think he did get a harassment charge on him. But it was really it was he was doing nothing. Nothing less than he was actually doing less than what we would do over here if we're boots on the ground covering a case. It's crazy. So, without a doubt, they didn't want it. And you know how hard it is to get information for us over here on a UK case? It's almost impossible. It was damn near impossible to get any info. They don't put anything out like that over there. It's wild. So, to get the info we were getting, I had been sent 3 emails on that case. They were kind of warning me. I guess you could call it a threatening type emails on that, and I'm over here, not over there. So, and I think Harsh had some issues with it over there too. So, I'm just saying there's definitely some kind of a thing going on in the background where people don't want what we're saying to be said. So, and now, like he was talking about the other day, they're really hardcore trying to take control of what we're doing. And that's not what this is supposed to be about. We're supposed to have freedom of speech. We have the First Amendment. We have the ability to speak on things that we want to. And because we're not following the narratives that mainstream media and the powers that be want us to, now they're working on trying to keep us quiet. So I think Jesse's right. At some point, we're probably going to have to find a different platform to do this portion of what we do. Um, I don't know. I hate to say it and I hate to see it, but I feel like it's going to happen. So that's my stance on all that. But I'm going to keep going, head on, full force, as much as I can, as often as I can, doing what I do. Um, Give me 1 second. This is important. All right, sorry about that. Alley Cat, welcome. Halls is in the house. Good to see you. Curtis, that's his name. Curtis, is it Curtis Arnold? Yes. Thank you, Alley Cat. What was the name of his channel though? I couldn't remember it. Curtis Arnold was the guy that I was talking about. I think he was a barber or something like that. He's the one I was pointing out mostly, but yeah, and then his channel just disappeared one day. So anyway, can everybody hear me okay?
I can hear you, Dago.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear you.
Good stuff. All right. Anything else to add to this, you guys? Yeah, I've been actually looking at Kick and Rumble and stuff to see how it works. I don't care for either platform, but in a must-be situation, I'm probably not going to have much choice.
Oh, I have something to say, small.
Go ahead.
I don't remember whose live I was listening to, but over the last few days on someone's live, they were saying that they think Ethan and Xana were killed first. And I also agree with that, but I'm a little, I think Ethan and Xana were killed first because they weren't tortured. Like Ethan had the least amount of wounds. Xana had a lot of defensive wounds because she was fighting for her life. But correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they really had a lot of wounds that like appeared to be like they were tortured. Whereas Kaylee definitely did, and I'm not sure about Maddie.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I've thought that for a while, that Ethan and Xana very possibly were attacked first, and the door was possibly closed when everybody came home. Nobody really knew, and that the people that did it may have been upstairs hiding out on the balcony or somewhere.
Well, no, I think they were in that spare room when Maddie and Kaylee walked in the door and they ambushed out of the spare room.
That is possible too.
But then the other thing I'm thinking that I think it does make sense that Ethan and Xana were killed first, but I'm a little apprehensive about this because of how small that area is and how you can hear everything. So I'm not so I'm still kind of thinking through, were they killed first before Kaylee and Maddie got home, or were they killed at the same time? Like, were the two pairs ambushed at the same time? Because I don't know, like, in my mind, like, if they why would they risk like killing an Ethan and Xana first with like all that noise? You know, Xana was fighting back when like someone around the neighborhood could have potentially heard it and like text Kaylee or Maddie like, hey, there's some weird noises coming from your house. Like, what the fuck is going on? And then that would have alerted them. So to me personally, there doesn't really seem a reason to like actually kill them before Kaylee and Maddie got home. But yeah, I do think they were killed first.
Absolutely, very plausible for sure.
I think if we were going to fit it into the narrative's time frame, I would think it would be simultaneously.
Yeah, I think simultaneously too. It's just better to make sure, less risk.
Oh, definitely. I just think like, if I had to make it fit, I'd be like, oh, well, clearly it had to have happened at the same time because we don't hear noises at other times.
And then that's another reason why it would explain why they don't want us to know when Ethan and Xana got home.
That's what I've always thought too, because we don't have a true to form timeline for them.
Yeah, because they clearly don't want us to know, and why. Why?
Exactly. There's got to be a good reason for that, and I think it's because it goes against the narrative and the timeline that they presented to us, and if they give us a true to form timeline for those two, it will change everything, I think, and that is what they're fighting against with that. Welcome back, Eddie. That's what I think. And
for whatever reason, I couldn't hear Sophie. I could hear everyone else.
Can everybody hear everybody now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Well, Tomboy Charm, can you say something?
She may not be there right this second.
Okay.
She's typing.
I'm here, but I have like 5 different screens going up.
Oh.
Okay, I can hear you.
Keep going with that. I'll be right back. I got to use the little boy's room. I'll be right back.
We're listening. Go ahead, Kawanda.
Oh, I don't have anything to say right now.
Oh. I think it's funny though, like it's a good point of like kind of yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I don't remember which day, whatever day Dago was saying he thinks that they were tortured. And that's kind of something with the Wolf documents, like some of the way she describes some of the wounds and stuff. She did say torture in one of the descriptions. I just think it's kind of crazy because you could kind of, if it was 2 people, it's one thing, and if it's 4 people, it's something else, right? And there's a reason we hear a gun talking outside, and I think that would stop. That would sure quiet you real fast. That would quiet me real fast. So there's that too, is the intimidation part. So we don't have any idea what sort of intimidation could have been going on at the same time.
Because I don't know all of the like wound stuff, but did any of them actually have a gunshot wound?
No, but you know it's wild.
So intimidation then.
Intimidation, right? You know, and then I always kind of wondered, like, are we hearing gunshot when there's like a thud? But there's no way that's a gunshot. It would be much louder than that. In my humblest of opinions, only because that house is not that big, right? When we saw it got torn down, the walls were like well insulated. But but I kind of wondered, like, I was always wondering if even those fold up guns, rifle, shotguns, whatever, if they made them in the riot gear things, so could stop somebody from like Kaylee's face or whatever. Could you have a gun?
I don't know guns, so we need a gun expert.
No. I've looked at it before. I'm just saying it's just kind of wild because we don't hear a gun when I saw pictures, like unreleased, blah blah blah, whatever. Who knows if they were real photos years ago? There was the entire wall behind the bed had been cut out. The whole wall had been cut out. Whose bed? So we're behind the girls upstairs.
Oh,
so like the whole wall had been cut out. And I think that might have been real photos from after when the FBI came in. And what we see, because some of the documents show that there's actual like pieces of wall within the evidence. And so I think that's actually what I was seeing. And I think that they came in and cut those out to test for blood or, I don't know, angles, whatever it was. But I think it's wild because I always wondered if the reason they did that was because there actually was a gunshot. We would have seen the hole in the wall. But with that house, I think a gunshot might have close might have actually gone out the wall. Is that possible? Does anybody know in chat? Like if that's, I'm not a good person either.
Flip the mute button. Yes, we have a hole in the outside wall in Maddie's bedroom.
We do?
Yeah, there is a hole.
Boom.
Whoa.
Boom, 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 boom. They took that whole chunk of the wall out.
But I don't think so, but that's just me.
That whole chunk of the wall was gone. When I got it, on True Crime Cult, wherever Robert got those from, whoever gave this to him, we went through the house and we were like, wow, whoa, that's crazy. Why is the wall cut out? And it was the only place in the whole house that looked like that.
Yeah.
It was behind the girls in the back corner, and the wall in the back corner was cut out.
Yeah, I'm not a blood or forensics expert, but this is why I have common sense, okay? And no one can convince me that the majority of all of the killings and struggle happened in Maddie's room. You just cannot, you know? So I think it could potentially fit in if like the gun was used for intimidation and like, you know, it went off or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I saw a question earlier posed somewhere. I don't remember where, but they said, in Dylan's thing, she claimed that Kaylee was in the living room or whatever dancing with Murphy. So if somebody entered through the back slider door, how did Kaylee not see him? Because they were like a half.
There's a half wall. I think they're like, I'm trying to think if you're in that living room, seems like there's a half wall, right? And the other side of the wall is the kitchen. Or is there not?
It's about, there's like a doorway on each side of that wall.
Okay, that's
My name is Jeff.
There you are.
All right, sorry. Anyway, I got trapped by my sons. He spatially trapped me, folks. How about that one? Anyway, all right. So where were we, and what were we discussing?
We're just doing a round table of random thoughts.
But if Kaylee was in that living room dancing around, there's a good chance she would have seen somebody go up those stairs.
I don't think that ever happened.
Now, look, if somebody came around the corner or came up those stairs and like 3 or 4 people in all black with a shotgun pointed at you and said, "Get up there, get out on the ground, sit down, get on the couch, well, shut the hell up. You're not doing anything." You're like, all right.
You are correct. And I still think it's possible that Kaylee may have been down. This has always been another theory of mine that Kaylee was on the first floor. Let's try that again. The first floor, possibly in that office doing whatever, and that somebody came in and that, if you believe anything Dylan says, is what she heard, where the stairwell, she heard people running up or down. Mm-hmm. That's just another thought that I've had.
Yeah, and if someone was at the top of the stairs with a gun, pointing at them, people in the spare room could like run out to make them quiet, because they're gonna scream and stuff.
And so,
I've from behind.
Yeah, and I've never believed.
Yes, 013. I live in Georgia. Sorry.
No, you're okay. I've never believed that she was dancing in the living room with the dog ever. I've never believed that.
Nope.
And I've always questioned how many people, 3, 4, possibly 5 people being there involved in this. I still think that the stool, unless I can be proven otherwise, the stool sitting in the kitchen where it was sitting is somebody possibly sitting there keeping track of who's going in and out of the house, watching that possibly is one person. And like you said, coming up the stairs with a shotgun saying, "Have a seat and shut up," and all of that stuff. I do believe that that's definitely a way that this went down. And the only reason why I think guns weren't used is because they make too much noise. Would have drawn attention because it is a very close-knit neighborhood. So just saying.
But they're great for intimidation.
Big time. How loud do you think those riot guns things are? I know I keep coming back to it, but for some reason I just feel like it could just really potentially hurt somebody.
They're still pretty loud, like the beanbag guns.
Yeah. Okay. So they are loud. Okay,
they're still pretty loud. They're especially inside a house. They're gonna echo and they're gonna make a loud. We'd have heard that on the one.
Yeah. Okay.
I think.
Okay.
And as I'm looking at the chat, trying to keep up. Is everything cool, Moto? People are saying they're sorry. We got your back. You're good.
Yeah, it's just been a rough couple days.
Oh, okay. Well, we're here if you need us, brother. Just so you know. Privately or personally or whatever, we're always here to talk to. So just say you're in the Discord too, I think. So we're good.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. You're a big part of the community, so I just want you to know you're not by yourself by any means. So, but what the hell was I going to say? Yeah, I think that all of that stuff is just BS. Honestly, truly, a lot of it. I think, and I have a monstrous time believing anything that Dylan has told us. So at that point, I just can't go with most of anything. Get that? You know what I mean? All you got to do is listen to the interviews, and you pretty much get it. That's pretty much how I feel on it. So I think that's it. Has anybody up here saw or gone through the Barbara Wolf document at all?
I did.
Okay. What are your thoughts on it?
I think it's incredible because she's basically, I like how she opines that it's 2 weapons.
At the minimum, yeah, exactly.
At the minimum, and that and then the K bar identified as the incorrect K bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really interesting. I've read pretty much all of these experts' docs, and it's incredible to me. Pretty much everybody, even the stateside, everybody has some sort of problem with the investigation.
The funniest thing is most of these experts have had some, like you said, there's a problem. There's a problem within this case, period.
This document's 60-something pages long, but her conclusions, half a page. Yeah, all her description, everything is 20-something pages. 30 pages of it is just how qualified she is to do this.
Yeah, they do that.
Just saying.
Yeah, Turby did the same thing. His was like 35
Yeah.
pages, I think, or
Uh-huh.
something.
Uh-huh.
And it does explain everything that we've gone through on this. We've talked about everything that's in here, and I just at this point with some of these documents, it's better to hit the conclusion in the final report to make it understood. So,
It's page
let me
20, I
see.
think.
Yeah, this is the conclusions right here. Yep, you are on point. Wow, you got a good memory.
I just what happens is these documents looked huge to me at first, right? I was like, oh,
of course.
1,000 something pages. Oh, geez. But a lot of it's blacked out. And then a lot of it is this, where it's like, it's mostly the conclusion and the things in between are, descriptions of everything that I've kind of seen already. So it's just a lot. But it's not as much as I thought there was.
Right. Yeah, that's wild. Let me blow this up a little bit for you guys. Oh, that's a little too big. Sorry about that. I'm going to read the conclusion to Dr. Wolf and what she states here, guys. I think it's important to hear it. So based on the above described observations and measurements, it is, in my opinion, to a reasonable degree of medical certainty that some of the sharp and blunt force inflicted on Kaylee Gonsalves, Xanaker Nodal, Madison Mogan are not consistent with having been caused by a knife with the dimensions estimated by Dr. Singh in her reports of the postmortem examinations. Again, of course, when I said, that why do we need to trust Dr. Singh? I was told, well, because she's an ME, Dago, why would she lie? Well, okay, why would anybody in this case lie? There were 3 or 4 police officers that were, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on the number of them, but 3 or 4 police officers that were present at the autopsies. And I don't think it's a big of a reach to imagine somebody saying that doesn't need to be in the report, and I think you need to make this way or that way. I have no problems believing that because we've seen it done with other things. If you going through Cy Ray's report, he absolutely said that that's what the FBI did. Special Agent Dumbass, okay, the black box is the one that said and withheld all the exculpatory evidence. So why would they not do that in the same aspect, folks? I don't have any issue believing that. I'm sorry. He's the one that I didn't want to believe would do that. But at the same point here, now we see this person saying this. Sorry. And of the post-mortem examinations. Additionally, Kaylee's blunt force and asphyxial injuries were not caused by a cutting implement. This indicates that there were at least 2 knives, used. We have 5 profiles, folks. 5 profiles that were put out for the type of sharp-edged weapon. 5. That's a lot of weapons. Sorry again.
How many did they find in Genesee?
2. I think they found 2 in a ditch in Genesee. They found 1 in the
roof.
Yeah, on the gutter for Kopaka's apartment building. Right. That's 3. And there's 2 others probably floating around somewhere. Or no, was it 3, Tomboy, that they found in Genesee? Yeah, because they found another one in a different place. That's right. So that's 4. That's 4 knives. We're missing 1. And I still feel very strongly that a machete was possibly one of the weapons as well. So I'm just saying there's that too. Back to where I was. One of which was narrower than the configuration of the knife that caused the majority of the evaluable wounds. I'm sorry. And a blunt object or surface. Okay. Blunt object or surface. Now that statement there in turn takes me back to Moto when Moto brought forth the possible theory of Kaylee basically having her face bashed into the floor or a stair or something in that realm to cause the injury she had. It didn't necessarily have to be a blunt object being swung at her face. It very likely could have been that somebody grabbed a hold of her and was beating her face off the ground, trigger warning, or something in that aspect. You know what I mean? It didn't have to be an actual object doing it, is what I'm saying. And
Isn't
I
there
thought
some of
that
her blood on that staircase, like on the corner, on the
there's blood
corner of
there,
the side of the half wall thing?
and they were also there was blood, or I'm sorry, amido black used right in Dylan's doorway. Okay, and we have stuff on the stairs. There was a cleanup done. We know that, so I'm sure they cleaned stuff up. But the thing that really gets my attention, you guys, are the kick plates on the stairs. Those metal things. And
Mm-hmm.
like Moto had pointed out, the lines that are in those, there's lines that were found on Kaylee's mouth. I have no doubt somebody could have grabbed a hold of her by the back of her hair and bashed her face in, okay? Or even by Dylan's door. One footprint, folks. One footprint. Where's the other foot then? I'm sure there wasn't somebody standing on one leg the whole damn night. Did somebody have their foot on the back of somebody else's head or their back, holding them down? I know, Dave, that's my theory too. It's a thought, and I didn't want to talk about it because it is so graphic. But if anybody
Yeah.
ever saw, you know, knowing that Kaylee's teeth were basically split in half, that's wild. Think about that for a minute, okay? They weren't broke. They were split in half. That's crazy.
You're going American History X, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I didn't want to talk about it because it is so brutal. But there's people that watch movies and they get ideas and they do things, okay? And it just makes you wonder. That's all I'm saying. And I would have never thought that until Moto brought that up, and I've had that stuck in my head ever since. So I don't have a problem believing in that. People are ignorant. They do some nasty shit. And the things that people learn from TV, I've seen it in more than one way. People take advantage of things they see and they try to do them. You know what I mean? So exactly, Dave. That's what I'm saying. The teeth thing, y'all. I've been in EMS for a long time, and I've seen crazy things, but that if they would have broke the teeth out of her mouth, like busted them out or bashed them out, or they'd have broke and chipped, they were split in half, folks, like a tooth splitting in the middle. There's something that's so bad. Okay. You got to have something brutal going on for that. Harry Potter, welcome to the sauce. We appreciate you very much, and thank you for being here today. All right, Tomboy. So anyway, did Eddie jump down again? Yeah. Okay. The likelihood of there having been more than one perpetrator is supported by the fact that it seems highly improbable that one assailant would be able to control and kill 4 young, healthy adults. Amen to that. In the extremely short time frame during which the killings occurred, that has been established by investigative information. Additionally, the lack of blood and or DNA evidence in Brian Koberger's vehicle and his apartment suggests that there was another vehicle involved. The multiple wounds sustained by the victims, including some that would have resulted in arterial bleeding. Freeze and pause. So, with the statement that they just made about another vehicle being involved, I have a belief as to what I think it could be. What could cut a tooth in half? Well, that's a great question, Moon, and I think it's brutal force. Shoving, somebody's face into something so hard that it would split the tooth right in half, right down the middle. That's crazy, okay? That's my opinion. I can't think of anything else that would not knock her teeth out, but split them in half. Think about it. It's force coming down directly on the tooth to the point where it just splits them and cracks them. That's how I got
or
that.
The tooth coming down onto the floor, like the force being from the tooth.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
I see.
Yep.
Wow.
And that is a definite agreed with Stephen. That's a personal thing, folks. Yep. And imagine biting. That's it right there. Again, trigger warning. Imagine biting a rock. Being forced to bite into a rock or a brick. What it would do possibly to your teeth. You know what I mean? That's just, I mean, oh God, I feel so bad for these kids. I really do. But as I was saying about the car thing, I think, and I have thought for quite a while, that it's very, very plausible that Molly McMichael brought the people to the house, as far as the actual perpetrators, and delivered them to the house to do what they were gonna do. That's exactly what I think her role was. I think that the
Do you think
DoorDash
that's her? When do you think she thinks she's dropping them off as at the DoorDash delivery?
I think the DoorDash delivery was created for that reason. To give a
So when
reason
we
for
see the
her to be
car,
there.
I'm just saying, like, what we can see visually, like if we see the car going up.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gwanda.
So, okay. So, Dago, you think the DoorDash delivery was pre-planned as part of the cover-up or narrative?
I think it was pre-planned to bring the killers to the house and for there to be a good reason for it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
To kind of hide the fact that they were brought to the place. Whether if she'd have just showed up and dropped off 4 people, they were gonna, why were you here? What were you doing? This way, it doesn't have to be seen that way. This way, it would be more that she was only there for a DoorDash. That's all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it took 2 hours for the DoorDash to get there. That's suspicious.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
To say the least.
So if the DoorDash didn't get there when it should have actually gotten there, it got there when they wanted the DoorDash to get there.
And that's the kind of stuff that happens in like New York, right? 2 hours. Why would it happen in Moscow? You're talking about like a 20-minute drive.
Yeah, and she said that they had to remake the food. They had to do this, that. Come on.
Still only take you 20 minutes. Still only take you 20 minutes to Taco Bell or whatever.
Right.
Come on.
Especially in that area. And then she said that she had a friend that was waiting for her in the parking lot of Jack in the Box. And it's like,
But you guys, Santa was eating in the kitchen and she ran from the kitchen to her room with her DoorDash in her hand.
That I don't believe.
I'd run from the kitchen to my room.
Yeah.
I'd run from the kitchen to my room if somebody had a gun. Just saying.
I don't believe she
I think I would try to run out the nearest door, but that's just me.
Well, most people would. Yeah, I agree with you.
Well, they caught him on the floor that doesn't have a door out, right? They caught him on the
kitchen, though.
But if there's somebody that's standing guard by that door, not letting anybody pass, there's your problem.
Oh, okay.
They're coming in that way.
That's why
there's only one person.
I think that stool sitting in the position that it was there for a reason.
I agree with you. I can see that now.
It's sitting right there in the doorway. Once you start walking towards the kitchen, where the kitchen divides from the hallway, there's a stool sitting right there. And I was like, really?
Maybe that's the I'm here to help person.
Absolutely.
That's what you were thinking already.
Yes, ma'am. So, hold on. I gotta mute this real quick. Wave your hand when you need to talk, Moto. That way I can unmute you, bud. I only mute you because of the sound effects it gives off. So with regard to, I missed that part. Arterial bleeding would have left blood on the clothing and bodies of the perpetrators or any protective coverings that may have been worn, the disposition of which would have further lengthened the time frame involved in the killings. With regard to the unsigned document titled Behavioral Unit of FBI VICAP, Idaho students, in which it is opined that the victims had torture wounds and that there was symbolic meaning to many of the wounds, I respectfully disagree. While I do agree that the attacks were surprise or blitz in nature, in my opinion, the locations of the wounds were the results of opportunity in that they were inflicted in body areas that were exposed on the victims who were in bed and when they were awakened. However,
wait, can you pause for a second? Because I feel like she makes that statement. It's not symbolic in nature. And then check out this next statement, because it feels to me like she's almost like
contradicting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it says, however, the superficial incised wounds on Kaylee's and Madison's anterior neck merit comment. Kaylee's incised neck wounds are shown below on the left. The incised wounds on Madison's neck are pictured below on the right. They are even more superficial than those on Kaylee's neck and are described as being minimally hemorrhagic, meaning they didn't. The superficial nature of these wounds is very unusual. So, what it means, because I know there's no photographs, they're redacted, of course, is that they only broke through, like the first 1 or 2 levels of skin. They didn't go deep enough to actually sever an artery or anything. And that's something that, like, you got to kind of be careful to do that when you're doing it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
And
it feels like what they were doing is writing with their knife.
in a sense, almost, yeah. Yeah, that's it, like leaving a specific message, right? And you couldn't, like, if, depending on how sharp the knives were, you'd have to hold very low pressure when you're doing that to make sure you're not cutting through. You know what I mean? That's kind of wild. So that's a good point to make, Eddie. Very good point. Go ahead, Moto.
Yeah, didn't they inscribe a J on Kaylee's face? Isn't that what happened?
That's what I've heard. I have yet to see anything to prove it. There's a couple marks that were stated. There was something on Xana's forehead, as well as on Kaylee. And then also there was rumor that there was something done to Ethan's legs. So I'd like to know that for a fact to be able to speak on that before I do. But yeah, I've heard that too. I've heard the same exact thing, Moto. And I would have no doubt that somebody would leave a message, if they're trying to. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why this happened, without trying to identify themselves. You know what I mean?
Well, with the amount of wounds, and there was obviously some sort of passion involved. I mean, this was personal. This wasn't just because
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
I think part of the passion we see is drug fuel. That's just me.
That could be.
I think part of the passion that we were like, dang, these are the people low, man, they really killed us. Well, or maybe they were just like all hyped up on meth.
It could be part of it, truly and honestly.
I could get this done in 7 minutes. Just kidding.
I believe that Nick Mowich was possibly one of the perpetrators, and if he was on anything, that could be part of the reason why it did come off that way. I agree with that.
Could his blood sugar have been any different? I was curious about that, about his blood stuff. Could any of that show that he did it? I didn't see any toxicology. Did any of it show like he could have been on drugs in that? Is that
his blood sugar was 35.
Right, but was that because of the sepsis?
That I don't know. That's what I
see.
guessed.
That's what I'm not a doctor. I'm not a professional.
Right. I guessed
any of those things.
But we didn't get to see a tox report. So that if we could see a tox report to show any other drugs in his
Paparazzi covered all of that yesterday in yesterday's video.
Yeah, of course he did.
Yeah, I know. I didn't get to watch it either, so we may have to review that to see. Good call, Eddie. Or 58. That's what it was. Thank you. I'm sorry. I misinformed you guys. Thank you, Kales. I thought it was 38. My apologies. It was 58. She's right.
And I honestly not sure what it means because I never had a blood sugar issue. So I'm just but that's low. So that's bad.
Very low, yeah. Yeah.
Do you know the woman who just posted that, or person who just posted that? Sorry. Do you know if that's like
she's a paramedic, so
she would know. Do you know if it's because of the sepsis or is it because of previous? Because we had two different recalls of him yesterday, right? Like one is he's either found in the road on the side of the road and somebody's finding him, or he's found wandering in the middle of the road. Is that something? Are we talking about that from yesterday?
I know that if, like, sepsis can cause hypoglycemia, but there's other things that can cause it as well, and that's the thing, is we don't know what was going on with the tox report and stuff at this point yet. So I think it might be a good idea to review Pav's video then, because that does tell us some things on the kind of goes on to what I did the other day about the suspects. From the clips that I did see of it, it does add on to it, I think. There's different types of sepsis, and usually infection raises blood sugar. Good point.
Oh.
So then maybe it is the drugs.
Yeah, like what do the drugs do to blood sugar?
It would also have to be, like she said, there's different versions of sepsis and different types. And I don't know all of them, I know the basic stuff on it, so that's a good thing to look into, I think. Thank you for that, Kales, again. Appreciate that. Um, I saw a video of him on the side of the road with the family that called the cops, okay. And yes,
Yeah,
Bob
that
will be here Saturday. What were you saying?
no, yeah, so I was saying, like, I don't know, because like one of the videos I saw about Mowich was him having like alcohol with him. So I'm just saying, uh
Right.
was any of that have to do with any of that? But it's not really where we're at right now. So to go back to the report.
Well, it was listed too. Here's the thing. Let's say, for instance, he was on a bender,
Uh-huh.
drugs or alcohol, and he wasn't eating right.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's diabetic, so that will cause that to go down too. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, big time. Big time. Yeah, I get that. I get that for sure. For sure.
So that's another possibility. It could have nothing to do with drugs or anything else. It could just be that he wasn't eating and he was
Oh,
drinking and doing drugs, and
yeah.
therefore, in turn, it will cause you to have sugar problems for sure. Sorry about that. I always thought that alcohol. I know for me because I'm diabetic. When I used to drink, it would lift my blood sugar up like through the roof because a lot of alcohol has a lot of sugar in it too. So that's the problem. But for his blood sugar to be as low as it was, like I said, I think it was what 8 days or something like that nobody had seen him. Nobody
Right,
knows what he
right.
was doing, so it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell with a lot of it. Um, but yeah, I definitely want to review that today. I didn't realize that's what that. I saw the title of it, but I didn't get to jump into it. But I wanted to cover this first and point out some of this stuff, and then, like I said, we have the time, so we can jump into that and review it because I think it's important. I did hear that Xana had wounds on top of her head as well as Ethan.
So what I'm doing is I'm reading page 7 of the report. So it's covering Xana. On the bottom of page 7. The first paragraph, it kind of gives like a number count. Stab and incised wounds were described to the head and neck, 23 of them.
Right. It's a
so
lot.
Again, that's on page 7, Dago.
Right there. Xana Carnota was described in her autopsy report as being well-developed, well-nourished, all of that good stuff there, 150 pounds. And it says, among the sharp force injuries of the head, many, number 1, 2, 4, 7, 9, 10, 12, and 13, involve the outer table of the skull. Wound 13 is on the left side of the forehead, was described as having one sharp end and one squared off, meaning basically where the knife went in and the other end would be where it came out, if that makes any sense to you guys. A wound medial to the left eyebrow, 14 perforated the frontal bone and entered the frontal sinus. A stab wound on the lower right cheek, which would be like in this region here. 16 involved the oral cavity and is inside in an incised wound on the right side of the chin. 17 exposed the mandible, which is your jawbone. Wound number 23 entered the oral cavity and injured the right and upper central incisors, her teeth. A wound described as a linear incised wound on Xana's right posterior parietal scalp. Number 2, measuring 1 inch by a quarter inch, was associated with an abrasion, within which are fine striations. Same as with what kind of like Kaylee had. Because the path of the wound extended to a depth of approximately 5 inches. Now that's decent, guys. 5 inches is about that deep, if you can see my fingers. So it wasn't just a surface wound. This would be classified as a stab wound. A stab wound on the upper right neck, up here. If I remember looking at Logan's photos, 18 involved the external jugular vein and a stab wound on the lower right neck, down here lower with the jugular. That's where the jugular would be, involved in the right internal jugular vein. The most significant injuries to the torso included a stab wound on the medial left upper chest. It was 3/4 inch by 3 1/6 inch on the skin surface and had one sharp end and one squared off. Again, the point where the knife entered the skin and then was pulled out from it is where the square end is. And involved the second anterior intercostal space, the pericardial sac, the left atrium of the heart, and the posterior fifth intercostal space. The wound was associated with approximately 100 cc's of blood and blood clot in the pericardial sac at 1,000 cc's of blood. In the left pleural cavity had a path extending to a depth of approximately 6 inches. So that's almost a full length of a blade on a knife, okay? Let's see. The K-bar they were talking about was 7 inches, so 1 inch short of a blade that length. In fact, let me show you. That way it's understood. You guys can kind of get a visual. So probably like about that much of the blade was in, which is pretty deep, folks. Okay. Gaping stab wounds to the medial right upper chest, 2 to 3 measured 1/2 inch by 1/4 inch on the skin surface and had one sharp end, one somewhat irregular end, and extended into the musculature of the chest to a depth of approximately 4 inches. Additional wounds on the anterior torso resulted in injuries to the middle lobe of the right lung and the hilum of the right lung, perforating the right pulmonary artery and vein. Number 4, the pericardial sac, right ventricle of the heart, ribs, and the diaphragm. 5 and 7, and the ascending colon. Wow. 10 and 11, the paths of these wounds extended to depths ranging from approximately 3 to 7 inches. So there was approximately 500 cc's of blood in the right pleural cavity. So if you notice, that knife that was used on her, at least one of them, it sounds like it probably went up to a 7-inch blade, possibly at the minimum. Okay, it didn't. All her wounds didn't always have the full length of the blade extending into her body, but still, it's a longer blade. There were 2 incised wounds of the right upper back, 12 and 13, that extended into the underlying musculature. There were wounds to the right and left forearms and hands. Defensive wounds, obviously, the locations of which were consistent with defensive wounds. Okay. No other injuries or natural disease processes that would have caused or contributed to her death were identified. Postmortem toxicology testing performed on peripheral blood revealed a blood alcohol concentration of 229 mgdl and an amphetamine concentration of 12 mgs. Now, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay. So the report of the postmortem examination states that based on characters of the least distorted wounds, the findings are consistent with a blade approximately 1 3/16 to 1 1/4 inch wide, which is about a standard width on a blade. I would a K-bar. I think I measured a K-bar as like 1 3/4 inch width, roughly. And again, I never stated that there wasn't a K-bar involved in this. It could be, but it's not the only knife that was used, okay? And it's not the be all end all for everybody. With a double edge segment and single edge segment, some wounds show findings consistent with a partially serrated blade. So it sounds to me like she could have been attacked with by more than one person with more than one weapon, if that makes any sense to you guys. Because some of these, it says here, some wounds show findings consistent with a partially serrated blade. So if we have one that has serration and one that doesn't, because not all the wounds are showing serration, that is interesting to me. And that's for Xana. I probably should have read these to you guys. Good call, Eddie.
Dago, of all the wounds across all the victims, there is one wound that I've kind of become interested in that I would like you to cover, and it's one of Ethan's wounds. It's on page 5 of her report.
Of course.
There's because there has been, people have been covering this on their lives, and there is some confusion out there, I feel, about this one particular wound. So if we can contrast what Barbara Wolf's description is to the autopsy that we've all been using to cover these autopsy findings, it would be interesting to cover it real quick. Okay,
that's why we're here today.
We don't need to read the first paragraph. Each paragraph is like highlighted with a bullet point. Okay, so either you can read it or I can read it, but the next paragraph, do you want me to read or do you got it?
Either way, I'm good either way, bud.
Okay, I'll read it. The most significant wounds to Ethan's body included a stab wound in the left supraclavicular region, labeled number 1, that resulted in perforations of the left subclavian artery and the left internal jugular and subclavian veins. A stab wound anterior to the left ear, number 3, entered the oral cavity. A gaping stab wound on the left neck, number 4, that perforated the left internal jugular vein was described as having one sharp end and one squared off. The remaining wounds involved only skin and soft tissues. Okay, so that last sentence there, right? So she hasn't covered all the wounds, but the wounds that she hasn't covered, she's saying that these will only involve skin and soft tissues.
Which are basically surface wounds, I would call it. Yeah.
So then I'm going to skip ahead.
Yes, sir. And welcome, Astastic. Yeah, so that's what that means for those of you that didn't understand it. Skin and soft tissue, it just means basically surface wounds, guys. Go ahead.
To the last paragraph, which I'll read.
Okie doke.
And it's, again, the last paragraph on the bottom of page 5 there. There are 2 injuries to the scalp, labeled number 1 and number 2, that are described as sharp force injuries. Wound number 1 is described as a stab wound located above the right ear, measuring 1.5 by 1/4 inches, that is associated with marginal contusion and abrasion, and with a 1/8 inch laceration extending inferiorly at the 7 o'clock position. And I'm going to end reading right there because that's the one wound that I want to compare to the autopsy. Now,
absolutely.
I don't know how quick you would be able to pull up that.
The autopsy, not so quick, but I
can probably get us there.
Okay.
Real quick, I can. It's going to be
take your time.
Pavarotti's video of Ethan's. I'll just look for a timestamp. If you want to start trying to find when Pavarotti covered the autopsy of Ethan.
1 minute.
It's the first wound that he covers.
pretty sure this is the right one. And this is Ethan. Maybe not. No, this might be one of the other ones. This is just the stomach contents, I think.
Food Kaylee had eaten approximately 8 mo.
It is. Hang on. I'm looking, guys. Hold on a minute. No. I'm trying to remember how far back that one was. It wasn't too awful long ago. Oh, it's a stomach. It was before the stomach contents, obviously. Just a minute. Come on, Diego. That's how he makes the autopsy videos. Here it is. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
Yep. 1 minute. All right. This is a real quick trigger warning.
So we don't even need to play it. It's just like go to timestamp around like 4 minutes 17 seconds.
All right there.
So we can just read.
Oh, there it says right there. Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Okay, so we can read the whole thing if you want, but pretty much what we're gonna like focus on is the last, I guess, paragraph talking about the depth and direction.
Yeah, the wound track travels from the one that Eddie just read from before. This kind of coincides. It says the wound track travels from the decedent's back to front and downward to a depth of approximately 7 inches. And then up here, it talks about that 7 o'clock directional as well in this too. So, like this is what it's pointing out.
Has anyone else, raise your hands, has anyone else heard or has the takeaway at all out there in any of the other, I guess, discussions about this wound? Has anyone else kind of felt that the takeaway there is that the knife was plunged in 7 inches?
Yeah.
Through the skull.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, here's the problem. And again, that's why I said trigger warning. It's like somebody came down on it with you got to have some force to pierce the skull. Okay. And that's what it sounds like to me. And a 7-inch, full 7 inches, guys, is like right there. Okay. That's deep. Understand that. So yeah, I fully took it the same way, Eddie.
So isn't that interesting? So obviously, Barbara Wolf has it right.
Yep.
And it's just a slash. I mean, albeit a horrible, nasty wound, but there's quite a difference between the way Barbara Wolf has described it and the way that it's written in this autopsy.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah, that is the absolute. And again, once again, big differences in these things between the state and the defense, guys, obviously. Always big difference. Or is it a gunshot? Well, that's interesting. I don't know. I don't know that it is, but 7-inch plunge into the
When we
skull.
see an exit wound, if there was a gunshot.
Stephen,
I mean, not necessarily, but go ahead, Eddie.
Stephen, it didn't go in deep. It's just a slash. It didn't go, through the bone.
It was not even like almost like what we said before, that skin and soft tissue injury. Okay, surface. So, and now they're saying here that it was, the way it's written is that it was plunged 7 inches into the skull. You can't. I mean, like, that's hard to do, but that's not at all what it was. They completely misrepresented it by this right here. The point to this whole thing is the misrepresentation via the autopsy as compared to the experts looking at it saying, no, that's not what happened. I don't know if anybody was getting that.
Oh yeah, I was curious if this compared to the expert, this actually sounds like BS.
Yeah, and like it says there, it's like Rogue just said too. If it entered at 7 in the direction of 1, counter or clockwise, okay, you're going upward, not down. If you think about that, folks,
Yeah, it's impossible.
it's completely opposing it. If you hear, like, you start at 7, go to 1, you're going upward, guys. Watch the hands of the clock. Down here, well, let me move Rogue real quick. But you go up, you're going upward in this direction, okay? Not downward. So it's completely and totally opposing it. And again, this is from Dr. Singh, okay?
I'll go back to the other one. What's the other one's description again? Let's look at it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Where did it go? It's down here. There's 2 injuries on the scalp labeled 1 and 2 that are described as sharp force injuries. Wound number 1 is described as a stab wound located above the right ear, right here, measuring 1.5 inches by a 1/4 inch. That is associated with marginal contusion and abrasions, which are, an abrasion is like a scrape, okay? And a contusion is something like when you get like trauma to the head, like banging it on something, for lack of better terms, I guess you could say.
Is
And
it the hilt? I've always wondered if that's the hilt. Is that the hilt hitting the body?
I mean, it could be that, or it could be that he hit his head on a table or something into the wall. I don't know, but it could be. That's a good point too, Sophie. With a 1/8 inch laceration, very, very small, extending inferiorly at the 7 o'clock position wound, or I'm sorry, extending inferiorly at the 7 o'clock position, period. Okay. Wound number 2 is described as an incised wound located above and behind the left ear, measuring 2 inches by 3/16 inch. How does the 2 sound to you now, Sophie?
Like 2 different wounds?
Completely different. Like Eddie said, when you hear the one that we just watched on Pop, it literally sounds like somebody took the knife and plunged it down into the skull 7 inches. That's how I took it, okay? This does not describe that at all.
At all.
Big difference.
And not to make things any more confusing than they already are. Hopefully no one is confused. And if you are, let us know, and we'll straighten it out right now. But not to make things more confusing, but what is really interesting is that even though, if you watch that video of Pavarotti's, even though the autopsy report reads as such, he didn't cover it as such. He didn't put it out there, which is very interesting, as if the blade was plunged through the skull 7 inches. So he did it right. Not that I'm trying to, compare and contrast, but I find it interesting. so there's that.
And they should be the description should be the same. Understand that. If you're looking at the wounds, the injuries, see them, read a description, they should sound the same. They're completely opposing each other, if that makes any sense, you guys.
It like doesn't even sound like it's this, they're talking about the same wound.
No, not even at all. Not remotely. And again, that one is coming from the ME herself, and this is coming from an expert. And like what Pob described, he wasn't putting it out there that way either. So again, why does Wolf say was described as, and did she see the particular wounds? I imagine she probably saw the photographs of it, Blue. Depending on when they brought her in, I have to see exactly when they brought her in. I don't think it is. No, I don't think so, Belladonna. I don't think so. A K-bar knife is the one that was described as being used was 7-inch by 3/4 inch. It's not that big of a knife, at least not to me.
Not compared to a machete, like you're talking about.
No, or even the one that I'm showing you guys because I don't have a K-bar. Unfortunately, I should have got one. This is a different type of knife. It is not a K-bar knife. It definitely has much bigger blade, as you can see. Okay, it's longer. This is longer than 7 inches. Comes about
It's
right
a fillet
there.
knife, yeah.
Yeah.
That's for fishing.
But, well, it's a hunting knife as well. Yeah, you can use it both ways, but yeah, about right there is where the 7-inch blade would stop, and it's a straight blade. It's not curved like this. Okay, it's just straight up and down, one-sided blade. That's it. And yes, the K bars are known for the tips breaking off. Again, that's a good point, Moon. Makes you wonder. There's no way in hell they.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, hitting the skull bone to not destroy that knife. Come on.
Thank you.
The
That
skull,
was another
like
point of contention I had with that statement. Yes, ma'am.
mhm.
You would really have to put. I'm not kidding, folks. Believe it or not, our skull. I learned that taking oh my God, come on, Dago.
EMT? Your EMT
Well,
stuff?
kind of, but no. There was cadaver classes we took. Okay, and thank you for saying that because that brought it back. But anyway, you learn like bones are hard, folks. They're not a joke. They're very hard. Our bones are hard, unless somebody is carrying around like osteoporosis or something like that. These are young kids. They're not okay. They're very hard, and your skull is one of the hardest bones in your body. And like for instance, when I had this surgery here, you literally you cannot, they had to use a bone saw to get into my skull when they did my surgery. And they had to drill a hole with a drill first. Okay. You can't just stab through your skull with a knife. It's literally like a rock. So they had to drill a hole. I know this is gross and I'm sorry. They had to drill a small hole in there to start it off. Almost like if you're trying to cut something with a pair of scissors, you poke a hole first and then you cut. You know what I mean? Same thing, and then you stick the saw and you cut the piece out. 100%.
I find it hard to believe any of these wounds are consistent with like an actual handheld knife, because to go through someone's skull with a handheld knife, you would probably end up cutting your own hand. Because when you hit that skull, your hand would slide down and get cut by that blade.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Dago. Well, then show us a machete. Let's see a machete.
What if you're wearing gloves or something?
Well, hold on. Like something like a pickaxe, where has like a lot of kinetic energy, like when you're swinging it, something like that would easily go through your skull.
Oh yeah, if you have
right, so it's got to have something that has a little bit of leverage, a little bit of torque.
Well, yeah, a pickaxe exactly, or there's another thing that they use for like mountain climbing. They have hooks on them like an axe does too. Pickaxe does very sharp. That if you take full force and you come down, you can do it that way, of course.
But wait. Is that wound even exist?
What do you mean?
I mean, like we're talking about like the going through the skull. This wound that
I don't believe it does. I don't believe it does.
That's what I'm saying. So the wound that we're like, could it have been like you're saying, Mike? Could it have been something else?
Yeah, I think
it's not even there.
It. I think she misappropriated it because we haven't got pictures other than the ones that Pab and Logan created, but we don't know for sure.
I didn't hear Sophie's question. Sophie, could you say that again?
Oh yeah, I was saying like, does the wound that we're this like hypothetical wound, if we're like, how could they go that? Oh, there's a machete. Thank you. I was just like, if it would even fit, and then I thought like, this doesn't even exist. This wound that we're like discussing of how it could be possible is not even real.
No, I think it's been misappropriated.
Right. It's just a cut. You know, it might have went a 16th or an 1/8 inch, through the scalp, but it didn't go through the skull.
No.
Okay, so that makes more sense.
So
that makes a lot more
if you want to scroll
right
to that first paragraph that I read, which is just up a little bit.
This one here, or on Pobs?
No, on Barbara Wolf's.
Yeah,
this one there. So again, the way we know that for sure is in that paragraph. First of all, she's talking about the most. There you go. You're moving it. Okay. Yep. The most significant wounds to Ethan's body, and then she lists them. Now, obviously, if a knife was plunged into someone's skull 7 inches, that would be the most fatal. That would put an end to everything right then and there.
Yeah.
I think we could all agree on that. So she's listing the most significant wounds, and that cut above Ethan's right ear is not listed among them. Number one. And then again, the last sentence, talking about she's prefacing, she's going to be covering the rest of the wounds that she hasn't spoken about yet, but she prefaces it by saying the remaining wounds. Oops. You scrolled it away. The remaining wounds involved only skin and soft tissues. So.
You were still up there. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I cover it with my own document.
Yeah, and understand, I'm not saying I don't think they created. I said she misappropriated. So meaning, like there is a wound there, but it's not the way she described it. It was misdiagnosed, I guess, lack of better terms.
That's grossly misappropriation, though. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely off. There was a wound that existed there, but it was way different than what she explained it as. Why is that? I don't know. She's obviously a professional. She does.
Are we
this every
misreading
day.
something? Is there?
I don't believe
ways
so.
To take that, I know Logan took it, and I would have too, as penetrating 7 inches deep.
That's how I took it. Yeah, I agree with that.
And Pavarotti did not. So I'm wondering what caused that. That was very interesting.
I don't know. I took it the same way Logan did.
We can ask him come Saturday.
I will. In fact, I'm going to notate that. And yes, this is what a machete is, Sophie, if you never saw one.
No, I have one in my trunk.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I got you.
No, I just meant the width difference, the size difference. Like mine, I have the same sort of machete, right? It's like I just have it just in case I'm in the woods and I need one.
Of course, yeah. I have all sorts I live in the woods, so that's why I have all these crazy things.
Yeah, and it makes sense. But the size of it, the length of it, the width of it is not comparable, in my opinion. To
agreed. So yeah, there's definitely a misappropriation here. Why, I don't know, but I any way you read that's how I took it too, Eddie. So that's why when you pointed it out, I said I understand and I get it. Does anyone know of a sharp-tipped weapon with a hook on it? There is something that we had looked at the beginning of the case that they use them for mountain climbing, and it kind of has a hook on it. I can't remember the name of it, and it does do that, and it's very sharp. I can't think of the damn name of it though.
We looked at Are we still talking about a wound that's not there for this? For the type of weapon?
I don't know.
Like it's hard to escape it, right? We're like, well, what about that other thing?
Right. She just asked that about that. I don't know that it is. Has anything to do with it, but I was just trying to answer that. We did look at it a long time back. Hi, Gramilla. Well, again, yeah, that's what it is. There's a lot of misinformation. I fully agree with that.
I love that, Eddie. Thanks for pointing that out, because I hadn't actually. I mean, I just looked at this yesterday. So
yeah, this is Dr. Wolf.
I caught on to that real quick, and I found it very interesting. I wanted to point it out to everybody.
Thank you.
Well, and it makes you question the other ones now too. You know what I mean? Any other injuries or wounds that were there, were they just misspoke on? Was there a mistake when you were writing it down? Did they not remember it? Was it? I mean, the way I understand it, ME does the report is they do it right away, like they're writing as they're doing their
or at
examination
least
or
right?
dictating. Yeah, exactly, and then they write the report later from it. Right. And Ice Pick, good call. Yes, sir.
As long as we're there on page 5, at the very top of page 5. Have you covered this yet?
No.
So the very first paragraph, obviously the very first paragraph begins at the bottom of page 4, but we don't have to read that.
Well, this is kind of important, though. I want to say this real fast.
Okay.
Ethan Chapin, stabbed by large knife multiple times. Large knife. Remember the words. Kaylee, multiple.
Just indiscriminate.
Yes, I just want to make sure it's stated right. Large knife. I don't know if people see these things differently, okay? And I wish I had one to show you. A K-bar knife to me is not a large knife, okay? It just isn't. And I interpret that differently maybe than other people do, but I want that known. Kaylee, multiple stab wounds, subdural bleeds, especially injuries. Xana, multiple stab wounds on head, chest, and arms. And Maddie was stabbed multiple times with large knife. Again, this to me is a large knife. Okay? It's not the biggest, but it's large. And a K-bar is like a half the size of this. That's not large to me. So maybe it's my interpretation of it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Hold them up next to each other.
Well, I don't have the. Oh, you mean I don't have
machete. No, I meant your knife and the machete, so we can see the size comparison.
Definitely, the blade's same size as the sheath, but yeah, there's a big difference.
Yeah,
big difference. And a K-bar is even smaller than this. The one that they claim did everything is smaller than this. It's like half of this if you take this down to the hilt and all that. But anyway, huge difference for sure. Screen, yeah. That's kind of what it thought about too, Kiss Me. I agree. And it doesn't even have to be a knife like this, folks. There's been kitchen knives looked at. A big kitchen butcher knife. There's different variations of these knives that it could have been. If you saw the knives that Logan got photographs of finally, those two, very possible.
I looked online when all this happened. I was looking. You can buy a hilt and just put it on any knife. You can buy all sorts of extra, just any hilt and just fit it onto a knife to make.
You can unscrew, because a lot of them are screwed in. You can change the hilt on them different ways, all sorts of things. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Dago, if you want to just leave your screen right where it's at, because it's in the ideal spot.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Did you want to read the paragraph that begins at the bottom of page 4 and then it continues?
I will.
Okay. So that's important for everyone to hear this.
It is notable that none of the medical examiner files included. That's right. Good point, Eddie. Included any notes or diagrams which made correlation between the written descriptions and the autopsy photographs difficult with some of the wounds. In particular, the evaluation of Xana Kernodle's injuries is hampered by the fact that 2 systems are used to designate the wounds. The wounds in the report of the postmortem examination are referred to numerically. However, the autopsy photographs include alphabetical labels. No key or diagrams were provided to correlate the wounds in the autopsy report with those depicted in the photographs. That's a huge problem, folks, if you think about it. They're 2 different systems.
What?
Why would you do that?
I think I just said what 8 times. What?
Right. Why would you do that? So if you're going to start doing part of this with a system where you're using everything to label by letters, and then you're going to move on to doing it with numbers, and they're two different things. Why would you do that? That to me is ridiculous. That causes so much confusion. Almost like you did it on purpose. I'm not saying they did, but it sure as hell kind of looks like it a little bit. You know what I mean? To throw people off or confuse somebody. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm saying again, it's what it looks like. Okay, now where did I leave off at real quick? In the late spring of 24, I spoke with Dr. Singh to ask if such documents were available, and she informed me that they had been discarded. Isn't that interesting? Why would you throw that away?
Why?
Why would it? Why would it not be filed?
Why would it? I don't understand why it wouldn't. Yeah, like with you exactly. Why? What a weird. That's a weird paragraph. Yeah.
There's a file on this case, a massive file, multiple files. Why would that not be filed in with the autopsy reports? And how can you throw that away legally? Anyway, I will summarize the autopsy findings of each of the decedents and comment specifically.
Is that even legal to do?
I don't.
I thought they had to keep everything.
I thought so too. Everything that has touched this case should be in its own file, and that should be filed within the autopsy. I thought. It makes no sense. Welcome, Joanne.
Thank you for covering this stuff, Dago.
No, of course, because there's problems with this, guys. Big ones. Big ones. Okay. This is classic for this case, mind you, okay? I spoke with Dr. Singh to ask if such documents were available, and she informed me they had been discarded. Why would you do that is all I want to ask any of you. Unless you were told to.
Yeah, instructed to do it.
That's exactly my point. Because I know she's done multiple autopsies in multiple cases, and I'm sure she's never, ever thrown any filings that she's had or any documents she's had away, ever. But she did in this case.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care if it's on a sticky note. It should all be in there.
Yes, ma'am. Anything that has ever touched anything should be in there. That is a fact. Right in our faces, guys. Right in our faces. Pure and, in my opinion, absolute corruption. I'm sorry.
Continues.
What's up? What's up, Mikey? Okay, and that we read that. Now, hold on. Let me read this too while we're here. That's what I think too, Kim. They're hiding what really made the wounds. That's exactly what I think it is, right there.
And that's why you think it's a machete?
Well, with some of them, I do. I think that a machete was used on some of them, some of the injuries. What's up, Moto?
Dago.
Say again?
No, I heard you say something.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something. I'm sorry.
No, I was reading something.
My apologies. Welcome, self-help. All right, let me read this now real quick. And again, we don't need to read the top there. For Kaylee Gonsalves, incised wounds to the right frontal scalp. Number 1, left frontal parietal scalp. Number 3, in medial, Jesus, I can't talk today. Medial left forehead. Number 7 resulted in defects in the outer table of the skull. A cluster of at least 5 stab wounds on the left cheek. Number 17 through 21. 2 of which penetrated the maxillary bone and entered the left maxillary sinus. Multiple superficial and deep incised wounds to the lower lip. Number 22 resulted in injuries to the right and left maxillary and mandibular dentition. Sorry again. There were 2 roughly parallel curvilinear incised wounds to the anterior neck, number 23 and 24, that each measured approximately 4 inches in length and up to 1 inch in width, and that extended only into the superficial musculature of the anterior neck. Again, superficial surface wounds. The most significant injuries to the torso included converging stab wounds on the medial, I keep doing that, God, I need new glasses. Medial left upper chest, numbers 1 and 2. Above the left clavicle that were gaping and measured 3/4 inch by a 1/2 inch.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you think these are the wounds that you think is torture? Because it's not going to kill somebody.
The superficial wounds, yes, I do.
That's what you think the torture is.
I do believe, yeah, because I think that I agree with a few people. I think that this may have started, the whole thing may have started right around 2:54, 2:56.
Quite possibly,
and carried on throughout the night, maybe till 4:20. That's my
terrifying.
thought.
Yeah, terrifying.
It is horrible. I agree. What's up, Freckled Gemini? Welcome. Good to see you. Thank you, SRB. So, as I was saying, yeah, I think the ones that are superficial probably are torturous type things. But the most significant injuries to the torso included converging stab wounds on the medial upper left chest. I read that already. Sorry. Where did I leave off? Surface pass extending to a depth of approximately 4 inches. The wounds involved the left subclavian artery and vein and were associated with approximately 1,000 cc's of blood and blood clot to the left pleural cavity. A stab wound on the anterior left chest above the left breast. Number 5, incised the left first intercostal artery and vein and entered the pleural cavity. A stab wound on the anterior left chest and medial aspect of the left breast. Number 8, traversed the left third rib. Incised the left third intercostal artery and vein and involved the upper and lower lobes of the right lung. This wound measured 1 1/4 inch by 3/8 inch on the skin surface. Had 1 sharp end and 1 squared off, and a path extending to a depth of approximately 5 inches. A convergence of 3 stab wounds on the right chest at the medial aspect of the right breast, 9 through 11, involved the right third rib, third and fourth intercostal spaces, the lower lobe of the right lung, the right hemidiaphragm, and the liver, which showed a 1 1/4 inch by 3 1/2 inch wound track. The wound on the skin surface was gaping, measuring 1 1/4 inches and a half by a 1/2 inch. The wound had a path extending to a depth of approximately 7 inches. The remaining sharp force injuries involved only skin and soft tissues. Again, these are absolutely just superficial. 1 exposing the left shoulder joint capsule. That's pretty bad. So again, the autopsy
the wound that was 7 inches deep.
That was on Ethan.
Yeah, but where on Ethan?
On his head.
Wait, do you think? What if is it possible if they have the autopsy messed up, like the original, like how they didn't have them recorded correctly? Is this? Ethan has a 7-inch head wound.
So yeah, like this is kind of what I'm trying to think. Like if you have a 7-inch deep head wound, like that's going through your skull. I no matter what. Am I wrong?
No, it's the same wound, though. Is it the same wound described in the other autopsy?
Yeah, right. Two completely different wounds. So it was either misappropriated, or like there was an absolute mistake made with it. And it's either one of two things. It was either a mistake on accident or a mistake on purpose. Is the only way I can look at it.
Because a 7-inch wound, like you're saying, on your head is going through your skull. There's nowhere. I mean, unless it's going from one cheek to the next.
Right. The way the photograph showed it is definitely not what it was stated. The way it reads, though, is that it was plunged into the skull 7 inches deep.
Can you plunge a knife 7 inches into the skull from the bottom, maybe like below the jawline?
I mean, you could come up under the jawline, but you're gonna be within the facial cavity. The skull, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because in order to do that, you need to swing something pretty hard.
I agreed.
Again, you need something a lot bigger than just a regular handheld knife.
I fully agree with you, sir.
Eddie, does the other autopsy have a wound on Ethan's head?
I don't know that. You mean his secondary autopsy that he supposedly
Yeah,
had?
like, well, this is Wolf's report that we're looking at, right? And
Right.
then what we just did, what we contrasted the two, like, is it the same for Ethan on the other one?
There's no proof at this point that there was a secondary autopsy. At least if there is, it's private and nobody has that information.
No, I didn't mean a secondary autopsy. I just meant Dr. Wolf going back over it. Like, is it the same?
It's the
thing?
same. That's
okay.
what we just read. We read the two different versions. Dr. Wolf's is different than Dr. Singh's.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm so confused about. I thought that was Xana's head. This is Ethan's head?
This was, or wait, was it Ethan's or Xana's, Eddie?
I thought the last one was Xana's, and this is Ethan's.
It was Ethan's. It was Ethan's. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was reading Xana's first, and then we went to Ethan's. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I did not mean to confuse you. My apologies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to do with this stuff too. I jumped from one to the next right away, so that's my fault. Sorry about that. I think if it's 7 inches lengthwise on Ethan's skull, sound very much like a strike from a machete. It depends on the width of it, though. That's the thing. And again, if it's superficial to that extreme, then yeah, there was nothing plunged into the skull. That's the biggest problem. So they misappropriated the statement, which is, I don't understand how you could do that.
Are you saying it's like a chop motion and not a stab motion?
It's kind of like a slash. I would call it a slash, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I did, Wendy. That's the only way. The way it's described reminds me of what I would call a slash, because it's not super deep, and it's not the way it's going in an upward projection. I would guess maybe there was something going on and somebody just kind of went like that upward and caught him that way, possibly. You know what I mean? That's how I took it. I know some of this stuff is difficult to understand because we're not looking at it.
If I can just read it out here, it says, okay, your live things in the way. Can you just move the document maybe, I don't know, to the left just a tiny bit?
The left?
Yes.
Hold on. I don't think it'll let me do
it. Just move your window closer to the left side of your screen.
I don't have a bar down there to do it.
Can't move it. You can't move it like that.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah, there's no bar down there. Hold on.
If you're sharing your screen, you could move the whole window.
It won't let me. It won't move. Let me try. Hold on. As soon as I touch it, it slides off. Yeah, it does that. 1 minute. What are you trying to look at? Which side are you trying to look at, Moto?
I was just trying to read that right there, that paragraph. Just leave it right there. That's perfect. It says a 3.5 inch wound track. The wound on the skin surface was gaping, measuring 1.25 inches by 1/2 inch. This wound had a path extending to a depth of approximately 7 inches. Okay, so what are they using? What axis are they using as depth? Are they saying that's going into the skull? Are they saying it's 7 inches long? Or
that it extended 7 inches into the scalp is how I took it. So at that point, it would have to go into the skull.
Right.
At that point, it would have to be a machete. I don't think you could do that with a K-bar knife.
No. It has to be a pick, like it has to be almost like an axe type weapon.
Yeah, I don't even think a machete, as hard as the skull is, I don't even think you could do it with a machete to come down on something and do that like that. I just don't think so.
The machete would deflect off unless it was like
it's not heavy enough.
Yeah.
I agree, actually.
But
It's
like
not.
he said, a pickaxe or one of those mountain climbing, whatever the hell they're called, things would be the only thing I could think had enough like velocity with the power behind it to penetrate a skull. That's again my opinion.
Can I just weigh in real quick?
Go ahead.
Yes.
And I hesitate to do this because I hate confrontation, but there was no machete used in the crime. And Pavarotti's going to tell you the same thing.
No, I agree. I don't think so. I didn't think there was either, but that sounds like a wild wound.
Why
for
do
the
you
size.
why does he or you believe that?
Well, make that one of the things you ask him, because I know he will. But not that I, need him to back me up, but because the autopsy, the forensics don't show that, because a machete is a chopping wound. So the wounds would be much different. It would cut through bone very easily.
There's also, I don't think it would. I disagree with you on that. This is one of the things I was trying to think of in the beginning.
And again, I don't want to get into it.
It's fine.
Not
It's
where
fine.
I'm comfortable, but I just want to get ahead of it. But it'd be an interesting question for you to ask him.
I will, and I based on his answer, I've disagreed with him before on things. It's no big deal. I still have high respect for him and so on and so forth. The only way I can see a machete penetrating bone is there has to be massive force behind it. And it definitely does do slashing injuries, okay? Without going super deep, you can do the same thing unless you're swinging it like a baseball bat. Now, I think you could possibly, maybe if you jump from a height down on somebody, possibly yes, you could penetrate a skull. But like,
I
don't
agree with
think
that, Dago, 100%. Like if
Yeah.
you had something that was long enough and you got that straight blow and it had enough weight to carry some momentum behind it,
Yes.
I think you could go straight into the skull 7 inches, no problem.
Right, but I don't see that being, because we're also having to look at the width of it, okay? I don't see that being the thing. I don't at all. But again,
I
as
can't
far
picture what this thing is.
Yeah, right. And as far as like if you were just like chopping, for instance, is one of the theories or one of the statements made like this, I do not believe that you could chop through a certain bone with that. Okay, I don't.
I see it now. Sorry, I was not looking at the document. Now I'm back at the screen. I saw
Right.
depth. I saw depth, and I was thinking width. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
thinking like, no, wait, it could be that long. All right, you're right. It's not even that long.
That's what I mean. No,
Yeah,
it's okay, and there's definitely going to be just people that feel different things about things, and that's fine. That's fine. So either way, and I will ask him why he believes.
It's good,
that.
Eddie. It's good, Eddie. It's okay.
Always. Hey, Gianna. So, anyway, where was I at? I completely lost myself. Two partial thickness there. I think I left off there. Or no, I was up here. The autopsy report also describes blunt force injuries, contusions, abrasions, and lacerations to Kaylee's face, scalp, torso, and extremities. There was a nasal bone fracture, parallel linear contusions extended transversely from the right perioral skin across the right cheek, and contusion extended transversely from the left perioral skin across the left cheek. There are two partial thickness lacerations of the occipital scalp that measure 1.5 inches and 1.75 inches in length, and that were associated with scapular and subgaleal hemorrhages. Associated injuries to the brain included subdural and subarachnoid hemorrhages and parenchymal contusions. Parenchymal. I say parenchymal, whatever. It's probably not the correct way to say it. Although not described in the report of the postmortem examination, the autopsy photographs demonstrate a fracture of the left occipital bone, which is around the eye there. Referred to as asphyxial injuries are petechial hemorrhages involving the bulbar, conjunctivi, and oral mucosa. No other injuries or natural diseases processes that would have caused or contributed to her death were identified, meaning she was otherwise healthy. It also says postmortem toxicology testing performed on body cavity blood revealed blood alcohol concentration of 107 mg/dl. Okay, so the report of the postmortem examination states that based on characteristics of the least distorted wounds, the findings are consistent with a blade approximately 1 3/16 to 1 1/4 inch in width and approximately 5/32 to 3/16 in thickness, with a double-edged segment and a single-edged segment.
Multiple weapons.
I believe so.
Well, I mean, is that 2 knives duct taped together? Just kidding.
Right. No, I do believe there was multiple weapons I think there was multiple weapons possibly used on multiple victims, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, well,
2 people per victim, possibly.
sure, very easily.
Just a thought. Any other questions about any of this here? There's definitely more. And plus, don't forget there were 5 weapon I don't know why I can't think today.
There you go. Rach wants you to read her question in chat.
Who does?
Rach.
I didn't know Rach was in here. Hold on. There it is. Do we know who did the autopsies? Yes, Dr. Singh did. Can we trust them if the experts' opinions are different? I'd be more willing to trust them because they're not disregarding documents, or did I misunderstand?
No,
okay, let me read that again. Do we know who did the autopsies? Yeah. And again, yeah. Can we trust him? I don't know that. And I don't know why we shouldn't, but again, it seems like almost everybody in this case that has anything to do with the state is on board with the state. So there's that, but I'll just say that. But if the experts' opinions are different, I'd be more willing to trust them because they're not disregarding documents, or did I misunderstand? I think you're right. If I read that correctly, I may have read it wrong.
It's funny that you say that, Dago, because some of the other experts' reports that we have also just like they still have disagreements with the state's reports anyways. Like some of the state's witnesses still have disagreements.
Yeah, almost all of them.
Everybody, I was going to say some. It's everybody that I've read so far, I think, still has a problem with it. So it's not.
Agreed.
It's kind of across the board.
I'm glad you're here too, Rach. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I don't. Dr. Singh was the ME that did the autopsies, and it was in Washington that they were done. I've always struggled with the fact that there was 3 or 4 or whatever police officers there, and I know that it's normal to some extent, but that's a lot. I don't understand why the lead detective wasn't there. Maybe both of them, but I don't know why everybody else had to be there. Probably, I think one of the biggest problems I have is that Gary Tolson was there, and I don't trust him. So that could be where that all comes into effect for me. Let me see. Okay. Who provides you with documents? Is it somebody that was asking? Oh, yeah, they come from the court website. Didn't the original autopsy people disregard documents? I don't. No, this was the original autopsy people, Rach. These were the only autopsies performed, was by Dr. Singh. There was rumor that there was a secondary autopsy performed on Ethan, but there's no proof of it that we can find.
Why would they only pick Ethan?
If it was true, I thought when maybe the family said, I want a private, my own personal one done.
Okay.
That if it was true.
Well, it's sealed in here someplace still, if it is true.
Yeah. It's just a coincidence that Jack Showalter's ex-girlfriend's last name is Singh. Is it really, Kim? Jesus Christ. Everything is entailed and intertangled. No, it's okay, Rach. Don't worry about it. This is an expert's report, but we went over the autopsies before. You weren't here at that time. And the autopsy reports well, they were kind of vague. They gave us the basis of them, but we didn't get to see anything with them. So all right, we covered Xana. We did that, and then I think I read her.
I think we started at the conclusion.
We did. Okay, my opinion
because it was in my head. Sorry, I was just kept thinking about it after I read it. I kept thinking about it, like.
No, that's right, and yes, that's every it is. Right. So it says my opinions and the basis and reasons thereof of her opinions are that my opinions in this matter are based on my review of the above listed materials as well as my training and experience in the field of medicine forensic pathology. It says that it's my opinion to a reasonable degree of medical certainty that in agreement with the opinion of the autopsy pathologist that the causes of death of Ethan, Xana, Kaylee, and Maddie were multiple sharp force injuries. In general, I agree that the majority of the wounds are consistent with the estimation of the width and thickness of the blade, approximately 1 3/16 to 1 1/4 inch in width, and approximately 5 3/4 to 3/16 in thickness, as opined by Dr. Singh in her reports of the postmortem examinations. However, it is further my opinion up to a reasonable degree of medical certainty that not all of the sharp force injuries observed on the decedents could have been inflicted by the knife described by Dr. Singh. Madison Mogan had 1 sharp force injury, Kaylee Gonsalves 1, and Xana Kernodle at least 3, with configurations that differ from Dr. Singh's estimation of the measurements of the inflicting knife, which is something that Paul pointed out too in his video. These wounds are also described above in the summation of the decedent's injuries. I obtained an exemplar full-size K-bar U.S. Marine Corps fighting knife below for comparison with these 4 wounds. And there it is. There's the blade. You see the difference in the size in that one and the one I showed you? It looks big here because it's blown up, but it's really not that big of a knife in my opinion.
It doesn't look that big. Actually.
It's really not, guys.
Comparison. If you put a fist in that, a hand in that grass in the top,
it'll show you the actual size. Yes,
it wouldn't be very big. Yeah, the handle.
It's really not. Did I read the wound depicted? Well, we can't see it, so it doesn't matter. As seen on the exemplar knife at the distance of 2 inches from the tip, the blade width of the knife is approximately 1 1/4. Right. Yeah. So it's not there. That shows with that there, the width of it, 1 3/4 basically is how I measured before, roughly. That's the width of the tip of the blade. 1 minute here. 1 minute here, guys. Bear with me. I'm trying to pull something up. Oh, yeah. This is what I was at. That's actually what I was looking for when I pulled that other thing up. False star. That is what I was trying to find earlier. And I've seen these things. I think they use them for mountain climbing.
Grapple hook or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Something like grappler or something, yeah. But there's different versions of these that may have a more pointed, less bladed. But yeah, different things. But it's wild. Thank you, False Star. That's what I was trying to find. One second, guys.
Hey, Eddie, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Sophie.
Do you see any, or when you came up with that discrepancy you were talking about earlier, is that something just because you had observed Pop's video also, or were there other discrepancies that you've noticed?
I think that's the biggest one that I noticed. Yeah. Barbara Wolf, she describes it so clearly. That's easy to understand. And there definitely was confusion about, because there's content creators that have differing opinions, or not necessarily opinions, like the way they covered it. If you were in one channel, the takeaway would be that the knife to Ethan Chapin's, the right side of his skull, the knife went in 7 inches, which obviously that's instantly fatal.
Right.
But Pavarotti, when he covered it, even though that the autopsy reads that way, that the depth is 7 inches, but he didn't, for some reason, he didn't say, when he's like going over that autopsy report, he didn't say that it was 7 inches deep, which was interesting.
Yeah, I think but he's using his Grok program or whatever he's developed for himself. It seems like when he puts in the verbiage from how it's written, he's getting back
Yeah,
more
and I
of
don't know
like
if that was one of
what we're
those
reading
instances
in
where
this
he was using
yeah.
grok or not,
Or
but
yeah,
he didn't.
sure. I just wonder if what was written when it goes into grok, if grok goes, oh yeah, this is what it is, it's not into the head 6 7, it's this length, whatever, and then it's just the way the verbiage of it for us, you know what I
I'm
mean?
going to speculate that he didn't use grok for that, but I wonder if
Keep
now
going,
that we're
guys. I have
talking
to
about
grab
it,
something.
I wonder if someone were to ask grok based on that autopsy report by Veena Singh, what grok would say.
Right, like if
Curious
it's just the way it's written, you know what I mean? Like I'm not a medical examiner. Perhaps you write it in a specific way.
Oh, what does she mean by that? It's interesting.
I doubt that there's any hidden message behind it, but the fact that it's clearly sounds very different in the different descriptions. Because
Well,
one
but
sounds like it's a 7-inch long wound, and one sounds like it's a half-inch, 2 or 1 1/4 inch wound that's going 7-inch deep. That's what's weird to me, is the writing of it doesn't make sense. But I believe I honestly just believe Pav is probably right. I'll just say Pav is probably right.
Yeah, I think so too. And again, my point is not to draw a contrast amongst the content creators that covered it.
Oh no, yeah, I didn't think so. You were talking about just the knife, the wound itself, right?
Yeah, I'm pointing out the difference in Barbara Wolf's description of it and Veena Singh's description of the same exact wound.
I love that you pointed that out, because that's the important part of seeing the difference in between these documents. It's so wild.
Yeah, and just to be clear, if you're and correct me if I'm wrong, if I misunderstood you a moment ago, but you're saying that, in one report, Dr. Veena Singh's, that it sounds like it's 7 inches deep, whereas in the other, the way it's described, Barbara Wolf's description of it, that it's 7 inches long. Is that what I understood?
It was, but it wasn't. Sorry. No, that's what I was misunderstanding the first time when I looked at it. And then I was not looking at the document. I was listening to you guys. And then I came back to the document and I said, oh, it's not what I'm looking at. I was misinterpreting it. But I just meant, like, when I just meant overall, the difference is there's it's just different. It's just weird to me. It's just bizarre to me. And I kind of feel like, what do you do? Put them both in the grok and let grok mess with them.
Yeah, because Barbara Wolf is definitely describing it as, well, first and foremost, all the remaining wounds involved are only skin and soft tissues. Mm-hmm. And then that head wound on the right side is 1.5 inches by 1/4 inch.
Right.
So the 1.5 inches would be the length of, the total length.
You're talking about, this is why you said axe. That's why you were saying an axe.
Say again?
You said axe earlier, something about an axe.
That was Moto. That was Moto that said that.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, sorry.
That's okay. He was talking about a pickaxe, yeah. And there's different variations, you guys. That's what I was looking for. I was trying to dig out my stuff. See, there's different lengths and widths of blades that could be used. Okay. That's one version. The one I showed you first. This is another type that has different.
It's a little knife.
Right. This one was a smaller one. That is about the same length, other than the curvature, as what a K-bar would be, roughly. Okay. This one is a little bit longer, not quite as long as the first one I showed you. This is, and it's got, there's no serration on any of these, by the way. And this one has, if you see that, this right here, a place where your finger can stick, which would make it easier for it not to slip if you're doing something with it. But yeah, there's millions and millions of different versions of these knives that anybody could have had and used. And yes, I have a lot of different things like this, unfortunately. I have 5 boys, guys, so and
I
everybody likes.
appreciate that you have examples, though.
Oh yeah, and I have others in different places. I have no idea where they're at, but
Is it because
my
you have 5 sons?
my sons all like to hunt and fish, and always have. We all have. So I don't hunt anymore. I haven't in a long time, but just saying. Anyway, but this is the K bar itself that shows the blade stopping at 6 inches here, and you still have that amount. It's still, in my opinion, it's not a long. It's not a long blade. It's not a big knife in general. Again, 1 3/4 inches wide is not wide to me. What are we talking about, Gianna? Third Apache, good to see you here today. Hottie JG, welcome. Oh, Bill Gates, yeah. He's definitely evil. I agree with that. So this just goes on to explain the depth and shows the depth based on Xana's chest wounds and so on and so forth that we talked about already. I think we read through that. And again, everything was okay. And the serrations are kind of important too. Paul brought that up in one video, actually more than one. Dr. Singh also recorded that some of the wounds sustained by Maddie and Xana showed evidence of serrations. So here's the thought. Is it possible that one of the perpetrators attacked both Maddie and Xana? And that was one specific knife that was used that had serrations and the other ones didn't. You know what I mean? Maddie had an incised wound on the right side of her forehead with fine striations within an associated abrasion. And I showed a fine serrated knife, very fine striations on it. Kind of like a little steak knife, I guess you could call it. So there's definitely proof of multiple weapons, folks, no matter what. Maddie had that on her medial upper left chest and measured 1 1/4 by 3/16 on the skin surface and had a path extended to a depth of 2 inches. Okay.
Wouldn't there have to be a crossover of blood within both of the rooms somehow if they were using the same weapon?
I agree. Yes, ma'am. I mean, unless they were wiping the knives off, you know what I mean? Which I could see happening, but not.
Yeah.
Not. It's not. It's not something I expect them to do in a hurry. Is to stop and clean the knife off and then go back to it. You know what I mean?
Go rinse it off.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they know what they're doing, that they're trying not to do blood transfers, but there should have been. I agree with you. There definitely should have been if they expected there to be one killer.
Right.
Okay. But see, here's the difference between the fine, like these are heavy serrations. The fine striations, not serrations, striations and serrations, yes. The ones in the middle here, these little ones, would be the finer ones, and those still aren't as fine as I think they're talking about. These are jagged and heavier, so big difference. And I think we've covered just about everything on it. And this is on this, you would have to bury the knife all the way, if this was the knife used, okay? You would have to bury it all the way down to this point to get those serrations to show on the wound. And I don't think most of the injuries weren't that deep. You know what I'm saying? Different knives.
On which wound?
There was a few that were, let's see, that's 5 inches, and you're already into the serrations there, and it doesn't say anything about it. So you got to go to 4 3/4 inches before you start hitting those serrations on the blade on this knife.
Well, unless the knife was drawn rather than, like a slash rather than stab.
Yeah, well, yeah. But even then, if it was a slash mark, those slashes would have shown the striations. If it was you know what I'm saying? I think I was talking more about the gouged wounds, the depth that have depth to them is what I meant by that. But no, you're absolutely right. And yes, Judy, they're all grown. Every one of them is. I don't have any under the age of 19 now. But no, that's a good point to make. Like if it was used like in a slashing movement, folks. But see, here's the problem I have with that though, Eddie. You're not gonna slash somebody with this part of the knife. You know what I'm saying? If you do, it's gonna be like from probably the tip to about right here, at the very least. You're not gonna get in. I mean, I guess it's possible, but do you think that would make sense to slash them with the whole blade of the knife?
It doesn't seem like you could get an angle to do that. Sorry.
That's what I mean. You'd have to be like right on, and it would still be difficult because of the way the hilt is positioned. Possibly, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Right, but keep in mind what we're looking. We don't know the exact weapons that were used. What we're doing is we're looking at this weapon, and like now our minds are putting that weapon into action in that crime scene that night, when that might be what is guiding us, incorrectly. It might be a knife that had serrades the full length of the blade.
No, that's that point that needs to be known. Very good point, sir. Very good point.
Hey, Dago, sorry to interrupt, but I gotta jump. But
no,
thanks
you're
so
okay.
much for having me on stage today.
I appreciate you being here.
Hi, Kalanda.
Bye.
Yes, ma'am. Have a great day. Hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, bye, Kalanda. That's a good point, Eddie. What if us just thinking it's that knife?
Well, and that's why
there's that throw off, right?
That's
just throw you off the whole entire time.
We're conditioned to believe
one
that
person
was used.
What if us just thinking it's that knife?
Well, very good point.
It's the PCA stuff again.
Yeah, we're conditioned.
It's just like this is what we've been told. We need to set it down and start over.
And I'm glad you brought that up too, because I've just like anybody else can fall right into the same thing. As we look at a picture,
time.
If you look at a picture of something, you automatically feel you're there with that. That's the picture. That's what it is. So it's a good point.
Yeah, we see the knife sheath and we just are like, oh, it's definitely that knife. We'll just keep going.
Yeah, right. It makes sense. It does. Thank you for calling me out on that too, because I was wrapped up in the same thing, not even thinking about it. So that's why we do this with different people. Anyway, so this was actually a good report to go over, guys, and I'm glad you brought the things up, and I'm glad you joined us today too, Eddie. The things that you brought up with the 7-inch blade and the being plunged into the skull thing, that's important to notice in this to understand how bad it is. Okay, how messed up, I should say, that some of these reports are as compared to the expert reports and so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and thanks for having me up. I'm gonna jump out real quick before I do my final thoughts on what we're going over here. I'm Barbara Wolf. We were talking a little earlier about Veena Singh and the autopsy and how she didn't save the, if there's a correlation between the confusion around the numbers and letters or
yes.
So that might help us to understand, if we all recall. Like in June of 23, the second request for discovery, or motion to compel. So the defense wanted the body cam, the recordings, notes, photos, any information collected at the autopsies by Tollison, Vargas, and Gunnarsson. And of course, the state responded that none of that exists. So it certainly could be, we don't know exactly the reason why, but it could be because the defense knew at that point that there was inconsistencies and shenanigans around the autopsy.
Right. Absolutely. Fully agree. Very good point. And again, as he's pointing that out, knowing and hearing and seeing it written here in black and white, that when asked about the copies of the documents that she had, that she said that they were disposed of, that just plays right back into the entire thing that we've been talking about for years. It's the same shit. Different people, different, circumstance, but it's all the same. All the same. And it makes no sense.
Thanks for having me up.
It's wild.
All right, Eddie.
Bye, Eddie. I'm gonna I'm gonna jump down too, and I just wanted to talk to you about this document because it was so entertaining. I really saw that you were doing it, and I was excited.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you guys today, really.
Thanks, Diego.
Absolutely. Look forward to seeing you soon.
You too.
Any last thoughts for you, Moto?
I'm still hung up on the 7-inch wound, but
Mhm.
I mean,
I got you.
I don't know. I guess at the end it'll all come out in the wash, right? So we'll figure it out soon.
Hopefully it will.
But I just like to say thanks for having me up. Sorry I didn't talk too much today, but
No. Don't apologize. I get it, 100%.
yeah.
And I'm sorry that I asked you without realizing. I missed Logan's show yesterday, and there's a couple things I didn't realize. So my apologies.
No, it's all good. It's I'll just say it. It was something in the making for quite a while, and
I understand,
that's
but
as much
still,
as I'll say.
I care about the people here, as you know, and you're part of a big part of our community and our family here, and have been for a long time. So I just want it known that, and I don't want, without getting super mushy or any of that shit, that you're important around here, to all of us, and have been, since you've been here. So if you feel like you need to reach out, I'm always here through the Discord or whatever. There's nothing wrong with it, guy. I'm just letting you know, like, just because we're guys doesn't mean we can't discuss things and talk things out, just so you know. And I'm sure that's for anybody in here.
Again, thank you very much, and that's awesome. I really appreciate the community, and everybody's been nothing but supportive, and
Absolutely,
it's great. I got lots of family and stuff here too, so
good deal. I'm glad to know that too. Absolutely, brother, and I hope things do get better for you. You'll definitely be in my my thoughts and my prayers, and that's a fact. So hopefully we'll see you again here soon, and on the next one. And I hope you have a better day.
Thanks
you too,
again,
brother. Yes, sir. Absolutely. That being said, let me see who else we got. Make sure over here. I think that's probably going to do it for the day. Unless anybody has anything else to throw in here. We've been here 3:15. This was an interesting report, guys. It really was. It's probably one of my favorite ones because it explains things, and it explains things the way that they should be explained, in my opinion. So that is what it is. And there's much. And again, if you look at what we've seen so far, Si's report, Slavinsky's report, this report, they're calling out problems. Without a doubt, there's problems within the case. You can't, and that's what I don't understand, and I get so frustrated about people that are calling us out saying, "You're conspiracy theorists, you're this, you're that, you're stupid, you're." Do you read the documents? Do you read the documents? Is all I'm saying. Do you? And if not, go read the damn documents. I'm not making this stuff up. None of us are. We're reading these from documents and saying, okay, here it is. And it's still not enough. So all I can tell you, again, read the documents. It's in our face. They're giving it to us black and white, plain as day, in our face. Read the damn documents, please. It is beyond obvious. Well, that's the question of the year, Patchy. I love that you asked that. Why the plea deal if they had these great reports pointing out all the wrongs from the prosecution? That is, again, the question of the year, my friend. There's something out there, something underlying that we just don't know. And we're probably not going to. Maybe we will. I would love to hope that we will. When? I don't know. Like Moto said, maybe it'll all come out in the wash. I can pray to God it does. That's all I can say. But that's a great question, Third. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate you very much, as always. Nothing but love to each and every one of you guys. Truly and honestly, thank you to my mods for being so amazing. Thank you to my panel guests for today. This was a great panel, great questions, great points. Kawanda, Moto, Eddie, I just went brain dead. Jesse joined us as well. and Miss Sophie, thank you very much for the points that you guys make. I want you guys to do that as often as you can, to be able to speak your feelings, your thoughts, your opinions, all of it, because you deserve that right. So that being said, I don't know what's going to go on later on. Maybe I'll pop back in here later, but who knows? But either way, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If I don't happen to see you, don't forget to love yourselves and love each other. And please don't change a thing. That is truly what I love about you all, is you being you. And you guys are awesome. So I will see you guys very soon. Thank you to anybody that chose to donate to support the show. And that fact, very much appreciated, never expected. Again, thank you to my amazing mods. Love to all of you. And I will see you real soon, guys. Bye-bye.
The coffee's cold, the final stain. We laid the map out in the pouring rain. No hidden corners left to creep. The dark truth woke while the city was asleep. The evidence lines up straight and true, a perfect picture of what they chose to do. The quiet street erupts in flashing light, a reckoning delivered in the night. SWAT serves the warrant, loud and clear, the sound of justice, the only thing we hear at the TruCrime Cafe. We watch the suspect finally pay. The dark truth is backed and signed and sealed. The wound is closed, the name is finally healed. It's finally healed. The cafe's empty, closed for the night. We put the darkness back into the light. We'll wipe the counter, set the empty chair, and wait right here for the next secret laid bare. Until the next one.